Bro, it's like 10 a.m. I hear someone pull up, hop out the car, someone comes out the house, they start swinging. They finish swinging, he hops back in his car, drives off.
But how do you know those fights are over?
I assume they're not.
But like even in the moment, like how do you know? Okay, let me get back to my car and drive home.
But that's what
when it's not like they have a timer and they say, all right, 5 minutes, that round's over. You just keep fighting and then you're like,
you know what? It's probably to the point where you look, when you're out of breath and you look at them and they're out of breath. They say, bro, it's done.
But they'll always be the same. Penny for my dots, cause you know I'm trying to change. If I ever took a loss, charge it to the game. When we see
anyways, we're here. We're a Charger.
This was weird.
We are the podcast with the highest level of Northwest culture needs. I'm Daddy J now, but you must can call me Jordan. I'm here with...
You know she goes for a voice, big ditch, nigga with the minus touch.
We told you we'll be right back. Don't just wait here. Wait, we're coming.
What's the space?
So be right back, baby. We're back here anyways. How you getting on, bro?
I'm good, man.
Let's get straight into it.
It's been a minute.
How have you been in the last month or so since we last dropped the last episode?
Honestly, bro, I've just been chilling, bro.
Yeah?
Guy, I've been minding my own business. just doing my own thing. What about you?
That's very ditch. Oh, you know me. In my house, being a dad, being a husband, going to work. Not really extravagant.
Actually, what's called dad life? Give us, what was it, like 6 months?
6 months, nearly 7 now.
6 month update. So chat to us.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good place to start. Yeah, no, it's demanding, it's taxing on everybody. It's like, shout out to like the missus because she's away now. But this is the first time I think she's been away from him for more than 5 hours since basically he was in her stomach. So she's never away from him. Even the day she recorded the episode, it was probably one of the longest stretches that she spent away from him. But in terms of that life, it's you're adapting, and it does, like, it definitely gets easier. And sometimes you don't know if it gets easier or you just accept your situation. Do you know sometimes if you're a shit place of work, sometimes you forget if it's shit because you've been there for so long, and the people are telling you this is shit. You're like, is it? This is just kind of what I do. Yeah. So it's starting to feel a bit more normal now. And because I go to work at night, like I get to sleep basically, and she kind of looks after that. But there is the other side is like there's no such thing as switching off. You could have a shit day at work. You could be in the commute, stuck for an hour and a half. You want to come home and just be like
plop on the bed,
proper, and switch your brain off, scroll to TikTok, but then you pop in and you see your missus is drained because she's been alert and not switched off for the whole day. So then you gotta take over, and that's going on. And like you're hoping the naps time aren't as frequent because he sleeps through the night, so you're happier because of that. But then during the day, there's not like
active.
There's no respite. You just keep going. But no, I'm enjoying it, and I remember seeing a TikTok that said for men the only thing that you shouldn't be able to do is breastfeed. So you have to be like, I'm more intentional, just not to be like, oh, Simi's gonna do it, or Simi's gonna do it, or Simi's gonna do it. So because obviously you're programmed maybe to see the woman be the nurturer, the carer, like even in your own household. Like I remember, like, obviously I saw Katie growing up; she's the youngest. But I don't think I remember seeing my dad like bathe her or do any of that stuff. So I'm trying to be like, okay, you are also a part of this. It's not just for the girl, like for the woman to be like, oh, I'm at home, I'm chilling on the couch watching football while she's giving him his feeds and she's bathing him, and all I do is
you don't know what I'm coming over to pick up my son,
play with him. All right, take your still get some back. So I think that's it. Like that's the adaptation, and there's also an adaptation amongst your relationship because you don't have as much time for each other. Like I think I've talked about this before, but I think right now it's kind of like, is at an age now that maybe she'll be more comfortable. She spent a weekend away from him now, but more than the weekend, so maybe she'll be more comfortable kind of leaving him with the grandfathers and the grandparents for a night here and there, and then actually just getting back to switching off your brain and sitting there. I know right now she's probably like a bit comfortable because he's still with me, but I know when he's not with neither parents, who knows what's up. But you have to do it not just for yourselves, but also for your parents to get used to it, because they need to know how to handle when he's fussy or when he needs milk or when he needs beef. You just can't be like, I randomly say, I'll take him. You just need to build them up as well. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm used to him being around.
What he wants, what he needs, what he likes.
What he exactly. Like right now, Simi's in Montenegro and I'm here. So he's with my mom. So do you know that? And then she kind of knows. And my mom, I remember the picture on Instagram before. It says the only parenting hack is live close to the grandparents. Like obviously she's away. My mom is staying with me in the gaff. and she's helping me out here and there, and it allows me to kind of have moments in the days to myself. So, and they love her because for them, she's only there till Wednesday, and then she's off factor.
It's always nice when you do it part time.
Yeah. So she, even if in her back of her mind, she's like, even if it was like the night, she has to do night feeds here and there. She's like, yeah, by Wednesday.
Wednesday,
yeah, but exactly. And there's nobody else to look after. But I think that's that life. It's still very rewarding. It's like you have moments where you're like, oh, you're tired, but then you have moments you're like, you have to remember, oh, you prayed for this, you wanted this, and it's such a blessing. So
question, yeah. You know now, yeah. Let's say because apparently Father's Day is coming.
Yeah.
You gonna be vexed if you don't get something. If you don't get a mug or something.
I think that's because she got something. We just kept ignoring the dads. Like, if it wasn't like a thing that I actually don't, like deep down, I know I don't really care.
Yeah.
But like just even if it's just chicken wings and pints, like if you just take
one of those ones that I'm not gonna be silent treatment, not talk to you. But I'm being a little salty.
It would have been nice.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You wake up in the morning, oh, no breakfast.
It would have been nice because I'm looking forward to my first Father's Day. I'll be out here posting. You know what
I'm saying? You know, just drop your little hints.
Like even I'm seeing more and more marriages, man. Every time someone's getting engaged, someone's getting proposed to, someone's getting married. I'm like, what's going on?
It's actually been crazy recently. All I'm seeing is proposals of marriages and all this kind of shit.
There was like a day on Twitter, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. The June bank holiday, that weekend, I saw bare proposals. I was like, was there like a communication? But I think I get it. Because if you go into most people probably know, most men, because they propose, going into the year, okay, this is the year I'm probably going to propose. They probably save up, and it's only by like May, June that you actually have money to buy the ring and to get, then that's when because I proposed around August, which would have been in the same summer frame. Because going into the year, I knew, okay, this is the year I'm going to propose, need to start putting money away. And then obviously I had plans to do it, but pandemic happened. So, all right, at the start you think 2 weeks, then we'll be back. Pandemic was
So
you just have to pull the trigger.
No, that's crazy.
Well, no, man. Shout out, Feeks, man.
Have you ever had any like just disasters? Like you're changing this nappy, niggas are pissing everywhere.
Happened yesterday. Oh god. And I was at home alone. So my mom went to church, and obviously Sammy's not here. So he was sitting and he was doing this stroller thing, and sometimes he just sits silent and he's pushing. Like, yep, he did his business. I want to change him, or calm, wiped it, everything. And luckily he has like a changing mat thing, yeah, and the wipes off easy. As I take off the nappy, I'm like, fold it and put it away, but to put the other one on, less more run out of his. The minute the wind hits his bum, more just runs out. And it's all over the thing, it's all over his clothes. I'm home alone, so I'm like, how am I going to maneuver all of this right now? But I managed to figure it out, give him a shower, and I'm like, jeez, that was probably the only disaster. And like he had one day he had like a mini fall, and him and Timmy both call me crying. You know, he fell over or something, and he initially didn't panic because she was like, hey. Then he started to like cry even more, and I'm on FaceTime driving home from work. Why are they both on FaceTime? But it was grand. Like, I think it was one of those ones because he heard her scream. That's kind of what panicked him. But for life now, man, I said it. Don't do it. Do not do it until you know you're ready for that shift in your life. Yeah, but when you do it,
then you're never really ready.
Exactly. But when you do it, it is rewarding. But understand that, like, whatever version of your life you had before,
is that's a myth.
Even if it is for 2 years until you can actually like you do with your sister, you go over, mind the kid. Like, even if it is for a period of time, just accept for those 2 years, this might be the version of your life that it might be. And it probably will pass because we see parents now travel, probably live a certain life. Probably you have to plan it more, but you can probably go back to an extent. But yeah, no, just accept that.
I almost kicked a dog the other day.
Why?
So in my estate, yeah, there's this woman that she's part of the traveler community. Let's put it that way, yeah. But I don't know if there's something twisted off upstairs, whatever. Anyway, so like I'll be walking, yeah, and she's just always shouting. Her and her husband, I don't know if it's her husband or whatever. They're always beefing.
Yeah,
bro. I'm just walking by.
I hate those couples.
This woman will just start she'll just start yelling at you like she's having a conversation with you. Like, because I'm just walking.
Traveler, yeah?
Yeah. But she's always outside. 7 a.m. She's outside. I remember one time, I came home at like 6 a.m. or something like that, yeah. It's raining. Why am I seeing her man just stroll up and down the street? Like why? I remember even one morning, I wake up at 11 o'clock and I see her yelling at because the way my estate is built, right?
Yeah.
There's a mad echo.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is, but like in just that place, I don't know how it's whatever it is, but there's a mad echo.
Mm-hmm.
So if you shout from one side, you can hear from the other side. So I woke up, it's like 11 o'clock. It's like 11 a.m. I'm thinking things are calm. I'm hearing this woman shout, yeah, that's why you're a druggie. Go take your needles, blah, blah, blah.
I will say though, living next to travelers is a wild trip. There's never a dull time. Bro, yeah, I was like, what are you guys even real?
Guys, one time I looked out my window, yeah, and my neighbor had about like 15 men outside his house. All of them had weapons. I said, oh, someone's getting rid of us. Oh, you guys are riding now, yeah?
Those just look from the window. You said, look, lock the door. Nobody go outside.
You don't want to make it big day. I want you.
Or sometimes you catch it in the wrong time, but you're walking back home and you just see bare people. You're like, please leave me alone, bro. Don't notice me, bro. Don't notice me.
I put my earphones in. And once my earphones are in, even if I can hear you, my face is straight, bro. I'll pretend I don't hear you, bro. Like, no, but actually, to be fair, my state is kind of wild because, like, the other day I was pulling up. I think they were having a street fight.
I've missed a good street fight though. It's been a while since there's a good street fight.
It's been a while. There was one Sunday morning. I think I've said this before. There was one Sunday morning, and we weren't going to church or whatever. My boy was in the house with us or whatever. And, bro, it's like 10 a.m. I hear someone pull up, hop out the car. Someone comes out the house. They start swinging. They finish swinging. He hops back in his car, drives off.
But how do you know those fights are over?
I assume they're not.
But even in the moment, like, how do you know? Okay, let me get back to my car and drive home.
But that's what
when it's not like they have a timer and they say, all right, 5 minutes, that round's over. You just keep fighting and then you're like,
you know what? It's probably to the point where you're out of breath and you look at them and they're out of breath. They say, bro, it's done.
I don't know how to breath so quick, man. I look like me in that Glee video.
But that's because this
is not it, man.
No one's really fighting for more than a minute.
Even though school fight, sometimes they used to feel long, but they're really like 2 minutes.
Except one time it was like, I think it was a traveler dude and one dude that did boxing. So these guys got in a circle. Niggas started doing rounds. If you got dropped, you get up, you start going again.
And then who's scoring? 10-9.
But you know what?
10-9.
You know what? Genuinely, I miss a good fight compilation, man. They used to make those back in the day with the techno music on top. I remember like the Sony Ericssons had like really bad editing software. So it'd be like, Tommy versus Dean. And then
and then you have to change the color of it.
And then it has it will fade in this way.
Yeah, I haven't seen a good street. Like we said it so many times. We're too old to be even seeing street fights or to even fighting. But like I do miss gathering. Did you ever get called out to fight in school?
Yeah, I only really fought once, to be fair. Like I had a fight in primary school, but that doesn't count. And then there's another time. This boy was he was just annoying, bro.
And you want to slap him.
It was outside science. We're scrapping now. He gets me in the little headlock because I was part of the compilation, bro. I made it. Bro. Once he got me down, I grabbed him because I was stronger than a lot of them.
Yeah.
And this was the days where you'd get suspended for fighting.
Yeah.
And like where our science class was like a glass hallway.
Yeah.
And like you could see the other classes. I don't know how we didn't get caught. But I didn't get caught, got away with it. Made a little fight compilation.
Damn, that's so scary. You picked up and dropped them.
Yeah, but at that point, like, P&P, Black Power and
all
that.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I was bigger and stronger than enough people, so it wasn't crazy.
Well, what I meant is like, what if you just dropped them the wrong way? Or you pick up and land.
At that point, that's his problem. Because he started.
Like, do you know what it is? Because when you're like 15, 14, you're not thinking about like the real implication of what could happen. You dropping someone that could land on their head, bang their neck, and all that stuff.
That's what's like, when you're that age, you don't really think people will accidentally die.
Yeah.
It's just we're scrapping in it.
Because I think Auntie Williams sent me something. There was a fight, and then there were two girls fighting, and he dropped her, and there was a chair there, landed her neck on the chair, and just got stuck for like she didn't die, but I was like, God, that could just go wrong so
in that
quick.
moment, it's like
so quick.
Yeah, now see.
Like that's the thing, because like, do you still? I think I have to teach my son to defend himself, but not fight.
Facts.
If that makes sense,
Facts.
because fighting, like you don't, because you don't know. You understand the consequences. You don't want to be a wuss. You don't want someone starting on you and you walking away because like dad told you not to fight. Sometimes know how to defend yourself, but only do it when you need to really do it.
But then that just leads to two niggas being like, no, you hit first. No, you swing first.
Yeah, but like, how do you train that? Because you don't want them like in your case. If I was my son, I'd be like, I get it. If someone put you in a headlock, you did what you had to do. But at the same time, I'm like, boy, that could go wrong if something happens.
It just has to be done.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird, but as much as you want to avoid fighting, you want to avoid all these things, even me that I don't like fighting and all that,
Yeah.
like, I've gotten into situations where I've been in a little scrap. Like, it just happens. Like,
Yeah.
people test each other, school, and especially, well, for me anyways, I was in an all-boys school, bro. It was just testosterone all over the place. Like, the smallest thing could set niggas off. Like, it was just...
And our ego, obviously you're not aware of your ego, and everybody's so fragile. Just say, I wouldn't take that. That's enough to set you off.
That's not the thing.
that's enough to set you off. Nobody knows how to check their ego. And then there's the guy in the back of the class like, shit, he said that about your mom. The original thing didn't even have hurt you. But now this nigga talking he's testing my ego.
And now it's like, in between class, I was like, yeah, I heard he was scared of him. You know?
Now I hear rumors. I'm not scared. I'll fight him after school. I'm not scared of him.
School, yeah.
How do you fight? You fight me at the gate, yeah? We're cool. And
fight at the gate.
Now you didn't really want to fight. Now you're in a fight. Now you're in a fight.
It's just, because one of the funniest fights I saw, funnily enough, Moyo was fighting one of the boy. Moyo was fighting one of the guy like outside of McDonald's in Navan or whatever. Don't know how it started, but someone was like, no, what happened was they were arguing over something. I can't remember what the fuck they were arguing over. It was probably Gail, to be honest. And then one of the olders from Navan said to the, because obviously we went to one school, they went to another school. It wasn't rivalry, but it was always kind of,
yeah.
And one of the olders was like, drop your bag and drop him. I said that to the other guy, to Moyo. These niggas start going at it. And then one builder guy just comes out, just, as an adult, are you stopping that fight? Or are you just letting these little niggas fight?
No, I think I'll stop it.
Are you sure? Because this is the thing, we're probably around like 15, 16 at the time, so we're not kids.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
I think it's because I understand, like we're talking about earlier, the implication of how wrong this could go for either of you. So I think understanding that, I'll just be like,
why do you think it could go wrong for you? That's the question. You have a kid to go home to.
15-year-olds fighting. That's all go wrong. Think about it. Maybe because we're African, because when you're 15 and an elder tells you to stop fighting, maybe black us would be like, you know what, let's listen to uncle. But maybe these kids these days don't have that same level of respect. Maybe they won't listen. Maybe they won't listen to uncle. Maybe they won't listen.
Do you know how? Because you know what, yeah? Imagine you're there, you see the fight, let me be the responsible adult, come stop this fight, yeah?
Yeah.
And they get fucked up.
I would stop a fight if they're in school uniform, because I know where it goes. But if it's a night out, because night out, you don't know what people are carrying, you don't know what people are on, you don't know what drugs are on. If I start a night out, let them scrap. I remember
Even a school uniform, to be fair.
Let's scrap him, man. Just to say, hey, stop. For fast, stop fighting. I know what school you go to. I'll tell your principal. I know your dad. Especially if it's black youths. So I know your dad. I'll tell your dad you're fighting. And maybe, or something of it, fuck that nigga, man. He never did know for me. No. Tej, let's get into why did we decide to step away?
Oh shit!
Wait, before I go there, how did you nearly kick a dog? We never got to it.
Oh shit! Yeah. So, what's it called? I'm going past the house now. So it's this little tiny. It's always the tiny dog. It's one little tiny piece of shit like this. Yeah. So it's the woman that I was telling you about. It was her dog, and I was going by, and this one just starts chatting to me again. Like, bro, just unsolicited. Bro, he thinks he's bad. Like he was, because also she's always saying the maddest shit. Like I remember one morning. Apparently she's a bit of a terrorist as well. I remember one morning her and one uncle were getting at it, and the uncle started throwing balls at her. So, but she's just a terror in it. So I'm just walking by her. She's just chatting to me. Yeah. Cool. And then next minute, because this dog is always around, and it was just like coming near me. It's like, but it's a tiny dog. I'm not scared of it or whatever. The nigga bites me.
Alright, that's enough. Wait, man. No, stop it.
I almost turned around and pointed it.
We'll call Peter right now.
Because I was like, this little nigga,
So I know that ain't what I think it is.
Do you know what I'm saying? But then she picked up the dog and she was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, But yeah, that's what I almost wanted to plug this day, man.
But let's
yeah.
get into it. Why did we step away from? Like, I want to hear your perspective. Why did we step away? What did you want to take a break, step away, stop doing the pod? Like, what was? Obviously, I know, but maybe the people listening were like, "Oh, we just kind of abruptly left."
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So let me announce this right now. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You know the podcast has level analysis and all that. But for you man that don't know, pod is done.
So why did like you share and subscribe it? There's no more content coming here.
It's not done yet. It's not done yet. As for right now, we're still here. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all them things there. Because you know what? We said be right back, maybe. We're not back full time. Don't dare think that.
Yeah.
We're back in increments until we finally decide the way to close it off fully. So this week you might get an episode. Next week you might not. The week after that you might not again. The week after that you might not again.
The week after that you might.
That week, fucking 2 hours. That week, that week you might get to.
One Monday, one Wednesday.
You know what I'm saying? But jokes aside.
No, he's not joking. That's kind of serious. It kind of might be that way for a while.
Wait. I'm saying it in a joking manner, but I'm dead ass serious right now. So joking tone aside. Yeah, Charger is done, bro. It was a beautiful ride. It's been fun, and I do appreciate everybody that was like, oh, like they missed the pod, or like they listened to pod and everything like that. Like it's been great. The reason why it just feels like the love for it that we had isn't the same anymore. It's become a lot more work than fun. I feel like we hit a plateau probably before the awards last year, and the award kind of like ticked it up and like brought the energy back up and all that. Like it was great. Once again, shout out, thanks and all of that. But you know what? Let's end on a high. But it just kind of feels like we hit a plateau, and like this isn't us saying that we've tried everything and it didn't work, because there's a lot of shit that we haven't tried. There's a lot of shit that we haven't done. And when we look at what would take us to the next level and what would take us past that ceiling that we feel like we've hit, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort. And honestly, I just don't know if I want to do all that or if it's worth doing all of that for it. Like, the pod is cool. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy chatting to people and like people telling us that they love the pod and everything. But once again, me and Jordan have kind of always said it was just like something we started for shits and gigs. Yeah.
Shout out them boys as well, man. Shout out.
Yeah, it was just kind of something we started for shits and gigs, and it's kind of like it's damn near become its whole own entity and its whole own thing, and it's just like doing that plus juggling jobs, plus juggling just regular life and everything that's going on. Obviously, Jordan's got a family, he's got a kid, he's got a wife, and it's just like all of that, plus having to do this other part-time job, then having to come home, look after you.
Yeah.
If I'm not thinking about editing, I'm editing. If I'm not editing, I'm planning on how I'm going to edit the next thing, texting this person, doing this, and it's just like, honestly, I don't know. We thought, you know what, maybe we take a break.
Yeah.
The break will make the love come back. The break will make it more fun than grindy, worky kind of a situation. Like, the thing about it, the fun part is fun, which is, this is the fun part. The chatting around, sitting this, but then having to go edit, break down clips, post on socials, do this, do that. All of that is long.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I know what you guys are thinking. Like for me, anyways. Like, you guys are thinking we could outsource these, get people to do this. We have looked into it. We have tried to see who can do it. Like, obviously, the pod doesn't make money like that. So you need people
like that, or
yeah, exactly. So you need people to kind of want to do this, because if it's beneficial for them, also basically for free, that you can delegate stuff and then focus on being the talent. And delegating stuff and focusing on being a talent requires more P's, more resources, more infrastructure. And yeah, we've looked into that. We've looked into the Arts Council thing, and maybe we don't qualify for that right now. So there's a lot of things that, personally, I will say, like, coming into the end of last year, I wanted to kind of pull away anyways, but I just told myself, maybe I'm overwhelmed. Like, Semi was about to give birth. I was leaving jobs. I was changing jobs. And then the pod itself, I was like, look, there's a lot going on right now. Maybe the pod, and also we're trying to plan another event in October last year, another live show. So there's just so much that was going on. I was like, this is a lot right now. And the pod is the one thing in my life that I can just brush off, because obviously the family side and the work side,
it's the one thing you don't have to do.
Exactly. It's the only thing. Exactly. It's one thing I don't have to do. But I just told myself maybe I'm overwhelmed because what's happening. I'll wait till things cool down at home and I'll get back into the swing of things. And just to reiterate what Dave said, it is a lot of that. It is a lot of like, it started feeling like it's a chore, it's a grind. You're putting a lot of effort, money, time, and resources into it, and maybe you're not getting the feedback that you as you're putting in. Do you know that kind of way? There's people that what we know is people that fuck with us. Like people that like the pod, really like the pod, but maybe to branch out to get the more general public, that's been the part that we've wanted to work on. And today's point was like, okay, we can do different type of content. I'm seeing like 90s Babies, for example, now doing like, oh, am I an idiot? I know you know social that's been, they do, oh, am I an idiot? And then they just am I an asshole? Sorry. And they just basically Freddie just reading to the cameras. They're chopping the bits in a different content, and we've discussed that, making more digestible content, and do all of that. Again, just it requires. We're not the best editors. We're not the best technical people, so it requires outside people to do it and coming in. And we just don't want to sell for ourselves shorts. We just don't want to pay for clips, thumbnails, studio, petrol, audio, like Adobe Premiere and all that. We don't want to pay for all that to do half-arsed. So we rather just step back and pod when we want to pod. Like I told Dage, I want to pod like Jafar does music. Whenever it pushes me to be like, I don't mind talking shit this week on the camera.
Something's happening this week. Let's go do that.
Yeah. And like that's the actual part of it. And another aspect is just personally, I don't like look. The one thing I've learned last 2 years doing this pod is like a lot of people give themselves titles because they want to feel like they do something in the scene, or they want to feel like they batter in the scene. Like I don't know a single thing a manager does. Whatever manager, I just thought, oh, that's a manager. Like what do you even actually do for this person? So I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm a public figure because I am not that important. I talk about dicks on the mic, but also sometimes doing things in a public forum, I'm just like, I don't think I want to do that anymore. It's another thing. I was like, personally, I was like, I don't want to be in that space where I am in a public forum, let's say, like in a public space, let's call it. I don't think I want to be in a public space anymore as often as I was. Another aspect is I'm so bad at this networking. I don't want to. Like I don't want to be around people that otherwise wouldn't be around, but I am around them because I do a podcast and I'm trying to elevate the podcast. So there's a lot of things. It just didn't go into it. We just didn't wake up one day and said, no, we don't want to do this anymore. This is a decision we thought about, we've talked about, and we even had an advisor call. And when the person said, what is it that you guys do this for? And I deeped it. For me, it was always just a hobby. Don't get me wrong. Like you do have moments where you see shits and gigs, or you do have moments where your clip goes viral, or you win an award. I'm a human. You think, wow, this podcast could really be something. Like, but at its core, I always go back to this. I know I don't have the love for it as like Fortune loves music. Like he would, if he had the money, he's the type that would put all this peas into his music and his art and his craft. This isn't it just isn't that for me. And shout out to, and then I look at like Get the Gist, shout out to them. I look at the effort they're putting in, and I'm like, I'm just not willing to do that. Like, and I'm honest with myself. I'm like, look at the effort. From they opened for us last April at the live show, and they were only doing it for like a year, maybe that was the second season. From then, they were on stage with 90s Babies. They had Chucky and Taser. They went to the UK. I just see them elevate.
90s Baby, they were
three shots of tequila. I just see them elevate, and I'm like, no, they want to do this. They have the drive to do this. I just did it as like Dij said. Barely wanted to do it after 3 at the back, but we did it because it was like, sure, why not? And at its core, that's what it was for me. And it's too much effort and time and money consuming for me to do all of that.
And apparently, I quite quit a long time ago. And I was just showing up. So I was saying, there was one episode, they think I said 6 words.
You've been better as a duo, though. I think when there was 3 of us, you thought like some episodes I could take off because there's 3 people, so 2 people can talk.
Now you know, like, but I also think that's just because, like I told, like we actually became friends. When Dave left, he was up in the situation. So like it just like things just became easier.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like it wasn't one of those situations where it was like
podcast friends.
Like, as much as Dave says he hates it, when he was here, we were podcast friends.
Right?
Maybe you guys were friends because you guys were having deep, intimate chats on the way back and forth.
Yeah.
But we were podcast friends. And it was one of those situations where outside of the pod, we weren't seeing each other. We probably weren't speaking if it wasn't pod related shit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true.
if I had a problem, I'm not, yo, Jordan, bro. I'm not doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? But like after that ended, and I was like, you know what, let me actually make a situation, because like if we're supposed to be doing this and we're supposed to be boys, and it's one of those situations where we're in front of a camera together every week, I'm obviously going to be associated
Yeah.
with you. So
Yeah,
at least let me
that's
be
it.
friends with the
That's a
nigga that
good
they're
point.
going to associate
That's
me
a
with.
good point. Because they'll be like, yo, this your podcast partner.
You see what I'm saying? I was
So,
like,
yo,
how do I say? How can I say? Yo, I barely know that nigga.
but you're on podcast with him every week.
And, you know, to be honest, the other part of it as well that kind of, not worried me, but was a bit is because I feel like for us to have got to get to the place we wanted to get to, I was gonna have to be someone that hasn't been me for a while, because when going to events and everything, I can't just expect Jordan to be like, I can't tell Jordan, yo, it's Tuesday, tomorrow at 7:00, be in town because we're going to such and such.
Yeah.
And Jordan already doesn't like being outside. So now trying to force him to come out to a place that he doesn't want to be. And plus, once Jordan had that any excuse is, yo, bro, my kid.
I can't leave Simi.
My guy was saying, I'm 10 minutes late, yo, my kid, man.
I was actually late today with my kid. Because my kid had to leave for more.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Get ready.
So it was one of those situations where I'm gonna have to go pull up solo at a bunch of places and like be doing all this networking shit solo and doing all of
God.
this. And if you've been to those events a lot,
Why don't you like also just create your own little clique as well and go to the events and or join one or find like one and be like, I'm gonna answer myself to that.
You know what it is, yeah. For me, I just don't be forcing things. If it happens, it happens. Like what's called like I'm cool with a decent amount of people. Like and I'll pop up here and there. Like it's not one of those situations where I'm saying, "Woe is me! I was in the corner by myself and I didn't have anybody to speak to and I didn't have my friend there."
Yeah.
It's not like that. It was just like it's cool. Like but that and you know what I'm saying. Like in my personal life, I haven't been out a lot like that. Anyways, now going out and the only reason I'm going out on a fucking Wednesday night is because. I'm going to this thing because cool. I might want to see like Officer's thing was cool. Like I wanted to listen to the album. I wanted to see what was all that about. But then some other places it's like I'm just going because I get the invite next time. And then it's like I just finished work. I've got to drive an hour to Dublin. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to get.
That was the other thing. The distance. The distance as well as the family situation. I was like, I'm never gonna be outside. Like I actually went. Speaking of that, I went to Travis and Else during one of the days, the bank holiday. That was actually very good. Very good. Fortune, open shout out Fortune, and then the boys they did their thing. Like the entrance with the dogs mask coming out. Because obviously Dog House, and I like how they saved the transition from Business and Pleasure to Blockbuster last. That was like fair play. Those are like and I went with Morris because Morris loves the scene. He just supports things silently. Like anything he'll text me about it. So that was very very good. But I think that's it where we are with the pod anyway. So casting, if you still want to do promo run, we'll be here.
Are we announcing what we're trying to do?
Yeah. We're trying to do.
So this is the plan. Yeah, watch the space. This is ideally our plan of saying goodbye to Charge It. We want to end on a live show. So we're going to do a live show. I don't have dates. I don't have anything yet. Our events planner or promoter, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he's currently out in Malta enjoying his life.
I forgot that guy existed. All the way, all the sudden in Malta, I'm seeing things on timeline. I'm seeing things on there. I was like, oh, he even tweeted it says all I needed was a holiday. I was like, I forgot that nigga existed. All I've seen is Malta. I was like, all right.
Bro, man, you know that was, he saw Malta was coming. Let me just keep quiet.
You know that was that said there'll be signs. When people say, when there'll be signs. You don't need. I won't talk too much, but when I'm having fun, there'll be signs.
Fam, somebody that's been on the podcast was on holidays recently.
Yeah.
Posted up a receipt after a night out. 13 bags.
Our podcast.
I was like, this is what niggas are doing, yeah? Fucking pod.
Jesus.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, live. What we want to do is we want to do a live show. Whenever we set the date for the live show, we'll start to sell tickets, and when we start selling tickets, we're gonna do however many episodes. So we're gonna be back up until then. So it'll be like a little goodbye tour. We'll have some guests. We'll have some fun. We'll say goodbye in a proper way because I feel like people that have ridden with us, like bro, Keston has been listening to the podcast I've been on since the very beginning. Like Keston is someone that really, really fucks with us. Kind of a situation. I know Samantha really fucks with us. There's a bunch of people that there's a bunch of people that I can't even name. Even funny enough as well, people that like I didn't know really fucked with us.
Yeah.
I really fuck with you. I was like, swear.
And you see comments are like, so like you ain't gotta stop. There's fun for the podcast then. Find me editors and a production team. Let me be talent. If you love the podcast like that, let me be talent, and then everything else you can handle for me. But now, on the jokes aside, we do appreciate it. Like, shout out you, mans. But like we said, yeah, it was a lot. But that's it. That's on the podcast side. So you guys have a bit more clarity that we just didn't say. Come here and say, yeah, be right back, and then left it at that. Hopefully now we can sort out the live show. People can come out. We can pod live, and this time we're actually gonna pod live. Not focus on the show element of it.
Because what's called, I was chatting to GB or whatever, and he was saying that he just wanted to be like, he wants to. If just because it's a goodbye doesn't mean that it's gonna be a shit show. He wants it to be better than before, and like a high standard kind of situation.
Yeah.
And it's just like being to other live shows and seeing what other people have done. It's like, okay, I have a rough idea of what I want it to look like, what I want it to feel like, things I want to do on the day, all that kind of shit. Okay. But that's neither here nor there.
Dej, I didn't talk to you about this for a month, and we weren't recording then. I was itching to record then. Who won the rap beef and why?
Oh, I'm so over this shit.
Nah, I need to talk about it.
I think Kendrick wins it, yeah.
But why?
I think Kendrick wins it because timing, number one. Mm-hmm. I think he did something that we didn't expect him to do in terms of just dropping back to back.
Yeah.
He also gave us the Not Like Us was like, because we were just expecting rapidly trying to free the slaves music kind of a situation, and just also the other fact of like people just don't like Drake.
Yeah.
Like
people were waiting for Drake to lose.
Family Matters is a great diss track.
I think like if we pick the standout diss track of all of them, if someone told me it's Family Matters, I'm not mad at it.
It's a good diss track.
It's very, very good. But I think that's when, and I think this is what Kendrick won, because people like, I don't care about because there's no victims that came out. Nobody's saying about all the allegations about a PDF file or the woman beater. If Whitney herself came out and said this is what's happening, fair enough. But like, I just can't be speaking like on another podcast, say, oh yeah, that podcast do this, and you just take my word for it. Fuck all of that. Because people were saying like, oh, but this. You know what was funny though? It got so tribal that you could tell that sometimes the fans wanted the allegations to kind of be true, so their guys can have one up on the other. And that was kind of like, that's kind of icky, because you don't want them to be victims. Ideally, you want, hopefully these niggas are just chatting shit and nobody's actually hurt. But I think Family Matters, I listened to that second part, the third, like there's three different parts. The second, third.
Where is that? Oh shit, I'm starting this shit.
Bruv, that is Drake for me. That is Drake at his best. For me.
When he just goes into that
rapping shit, and I'm like, it says Rocky, and he's talking about A$AP Rocky. Yeah. I think that was kind of a misstep though, addressing different people. You should have like gone for Kendrick. I get it. But Kendrick was going for Drake. Yeah, the whole time he was going for Drake.
That's because Kendrick didn't have any ups.
Yeah.
Kendrick's only up is Drake. Whereas Drake's up is the whole industry.
Nah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it was just one of them situations where Family Matters was such a good track, but it got lost. Because Kendrick dropped, Drake dropped, Kendrick dropped again. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it just got drowned out. And that's what I mean about the timing.
He had better strategy.
Kendrick dropped so much better strategy-wise. Because the thing is, nothing that Drake dropped was bad. Mm-hmm. It's just that Kendrick dropped better shit.
Drake competed at push-ups and Family Matters. They're gonna be my top 5 when the rap of the year. Mm-hmm. Again, I've said I'm like going bad. That kind of Drake. I love when the Drake is rapping. I fucking like I've already talked about it. People just wanted you to pick sides, but for me it was like he did the Euphoria, which is I hate you and everything you stand for, the fabric of your being. Are you even a real man? Look at the women you're fucking. Like, what do you stand for? Like, go be a dad. Like, I'm not getting dirt. And then that was the first song. He's telling him like, this is how I feel about you. Mm-hmm. 616 in LA. It's like, oh, that's your thing. That's you do this timestamp thing, and 616 is Father's Day. Mm-hmm. That one got lost, but I kind of like that he uses Drake's format. And then Family Matters drops, but then you kill a story with a story. He dropped Meet the Grahams. So then he has a daughter. Then the story becomes, is Drake hiding another child? So you don't even take in flipping how good Family Matters is. You forget about it. Mm-hmm. And by the time Family Matters drops, you think like, oh, people are still discussing it, what's true, what's not. Mm-hmm. Then he drops Not Like Us, goes number 1.
Quick question,
best month of rap ever.
Quick question, Is it that people don't like Drake, or is it that people see PDF files, whatever, as worse than beating your woman? Because it almost seems like, bro, first of all, it's crazy that we're dancing to tracks that's calling niggas pedophiles. It's crazy.
Hey Drake, I heard him like him young.
Back got a weird case. Why is he around?
So why you throwing like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Just trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
Because it just seems like Drake was saying some heavy shit like what's called like is it self-defense like when you beat on your girls it's
It's a self-defense. Yeah.
Is it like when he's saying all that shit, yeah, it seems like none of it hit as heavy as the A minor bar, and I do understand sometimes it's about how it was said and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it's almost just like is it also just because you know when somebody's talented, people almost forget all their flaws.
Yeah.
Kendrick is that talented and seen as that talented that he could never.
Like, see, the take I heard is with the woman beater, because there's actually people like Whitney's the person that he's talking about. He's actually talking about someone that we were aware of. Even the like, are those kids Dave's Freeze? There's actually kids, so you can actually picture like, you don't want to. Whereas a PDF file, it's just a shot, and maybe that's a part of it because it doesn't even seem real. It doesn't just seem like
no. You know what it is? It's playing off of like Drake. There's been rumors about Drake being weird with younger girls and like because okay, objectively, unless you have to be literally related to me, or you either got to be related to me, or like let's say if I'm dating a girl like her little sister, and even then I'm not texting you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like if we're texting, it might be you need something, and it'd be a real quick bang bang, 4 messages we're done. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, I can't just meet a random 16-year-old and be like, oh yeah, cool, let's chat.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like the industry, we're trying to help your career, all of this kind of shit. But it still looks weird. So it's kind of like, there's been enough of them situations where it's kind of like, with Drake, that it's kind of like, oh, it must be true.
That's the thing. Even if there's an inkling, especially things like that, and to your point, especially if someone doesn't already like you, they just need anything to confirm their bias.
Facts.
Like anything you give, because there was a TikTok someone made, and then I think I sent it to us, and they were like saying like this is what they're saying this about Drake. The person just wanted to believe it. Like a lot of people wanted to believe that I don't like Drake, so if you're or I don't like Kendrick, or I'm because people know it's not like people don't like Kendrick. People are just on Drake's side. Let's say that. Whereas there's people that actually don't like Drake. Yeah. Like, you know, like I've never met someone who says, "Oh, I don't like Kendrick." This I might say I don't listen to his music, or his music isn't for me, or it's too deep to be listened to. But I've met so many people hate on Drake, saying like, "Fuck Drake."
Artists and everything, bro.
Exactly. So maybe it's an element of like people want to believe that Drake is this piece of shit because in their heads they've believed he's a piece of shit for so long. And to your point, there's been an inkling or these little moments that will also lead them to be like, yeah, see, that's why he was nearly kissed that girl on stage back in 2009. I didn't want to like get into all of that stuff because it's kind of like I don't want to put those things on other people without just putting it on them. If Whitney herself comes out and says, "Yo, Kendrick put his hand on me," by all means, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, because you know it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, why do I believe this over this if I have no proof of either? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, once again, is it weird texting 16-year-olds? Very.
Yeah.
Does it mean that you're fully guilty?
Yeah. Because he was texting Angel Reese, the WNBA player. Like, she was still in college at the time. But I don't want to be saying like a college or 18, 19, forget all that. But like, because he's like texting Angel Reese, I have a basketball court in Toronto. And she said this on the Breakfast Club. But the point is like, it wasn't illegal what he did. Like, to your point, Drake attaches himself to whoever's popping in culture. Drake, if Kai Cenat was the one popping, he even used Kai Cenat as a bar in one of his songs. Like, that's what Drake does. Whatever's popping in culture, Kai Cenat speed. If it's a streamer, Aiden Ross, he'll go there. If it's a WNBA player that's popping, he'll go there. So if it's a 16-year-old ballerina that's popping, he might be like, let me attach myself. It does look weird, but it's something he has done throughout his career to whatever is popular. Do you know that kind of way?
You know what it is as well, yeah? And it's one of them situations where it's like, sometimes no matter what the situation is, it always looks funny because like the thing is, like what you're saying does make sense. Like that's like imagine LeBron being back in college now.
Yeah,
there's gonna be rappers around him. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's one of them situations where it's like we all know that like look at all this Diddy, Epstein, all this kind of shit that's coming out. It's kind of like, why are you with this? Why are you with somebody?
Yeah, it's definitely not the climate for that. Yeah.
but on the flip side, because it's one of those situations where it's like, because I don't want to say a small group of individuals, because shit's been coming out where it's like niggas have been doing shit. So it's kind of like that group has ruined all this kind of everything. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just like, bro, it's crazy. But in terms of the beef, yeah. I'm over it. I've been over it for a while. Like this, all everyone was talking about for a while. Yeah, but like, I don't think Kendrick out-rapped Drake like that.
No, neither do I.
Like,
I agree.
He didn't really out-rap him. I think because Drake had a bigger mountain to climb. Like he was okay. Let's put it in terms of if he was beefing anybody else, he takes that clear. Like, and it's not even a competition. But the fact that he wasn't just beefing anybody, he was beefing essentially Malcolm X of this rap team.
You know, now he's doing a concert on the day they freed the slaves. It's Juneteenth. He's like, all right, after the concert, it comes on the day they free the slaves.
You're beefing Malcolm X with this rap thing. The more likable person. A lot of people don't like you.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you don't know that don't like you. And on top of that, somebody that doesn't rap a lot, he comes out and he starts rapping a lot. Like, I don't think Kendrick has ever dropped that much.
Four songs in 10 days. Never. So, 4 songs in 10 days. That's why you know he has hate in his heart. They said Cole wasn't built for this. He doesn't have that hate in his heart for Drake or Kendrick to do it.
You know what it is as well? I feel like Kendrick brought back the old school. I'm not rapping around your name.
Yeah.
Yo, Drake, I don't like you. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you walk.
That's why I like that. He said, fuck sneak dissing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going for you now.
and that's one of those things that it hasn't been like that for you know, apart from, I don't think anybody does rap beef like the UK scene.
I'm going to get to that in a second.
But when it comes to them, like it's been a lot of sneak dissing. No one's really, even when Nicki was going at Remy, it was kind of, it wasn't really like yo, this is who I'm talking about. Fuck you, fuck everything you stand for and all that. So I just think that Drake needed to drop more frequently, and he needed to be, for as strategic as a nigga that he has been, I felt like he dropped the ball.
Yeah, and it felt like Kendrick was more ready, because when he dropped Family Matters, even in Family Matters, it says this shit should be over for anybody that's counting right now.
Yeah.
Like, if you're keeping count, this is over. Then you drop Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us goes number 1. And it's like, as good as Family Matters is, and I have the opinion, I think it's probably the best individual track of the beef. That's my opinion. I think it is. But you just got I'll take that point aside. Like, in the UK side here, why do you think Drake didn't need this beef? Drake's legacy is cemented. He is one of, if not the best of his era. Why then get drawn into a beef when you're like, to your point, there is no gain from you? So it's all ego. Because remember when Chip was calling out Stormzy, and Stormzy's like, is he sending for me? I don't know. Like, Stormzy didn't want to engage because the point Stormzy was, I'm above you. Why am I punching down? Because you can only gain from me coming down on you. Yeah. So why is Drake even entertaining this?
I think, you know what it is? I think Drake has the opposite problem to a lot of other people. A lot of other people have the streets, but they don't have the charts. Drake has the charts, but doesn't have the streets. So where other people are doing it for charts, Drake is doing it for streets. And I think that's why it's kind of like,
that's a good point.
Like, yeah, cool. Like you know what it is? Hindsight changes everything.
Yeah.
So Meek now, when we look at that Meek beef now, it doesn't seem as big as it was back then. Yeah. Because Meek isn't the guy Meek's career, not that it's over, but it's not the same.
All of a sudden you looked at him differently.
Exactly.
He just became a cringy nigga. This was a Philly street guy. The Philly street guys are supposed to be, yo. All of a sudden you're like, Meek is kind of corny, you know? Meek is a cornball.
Do you get what I mean? So it's kind of like, you've never really rapped against anybody that's high level, which is not true. You've never really done this. You've never really done this. And it's kind of like, once the ghostwriting rumors came out, you're never going to be regarded as the best that's ever done it. You're never going to be like, how many rappers come, like, you ask DMX, yo, what you think of Drake? I don't like Drake.
I don't like Drake.
What's called, even, I think I was listening to like Filthy, and maybe it was like Troy Deeney or something like that, or it was like Jermaine Defoe is like, oh, what, who'd you listen to? Someone like Drake. He's like, I don't listen to Drake. It's like, it's the cool thing to hate him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Especially if you're like Troy Deeney is a street guy.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly where it came from. If you're a street guy, it's almost like you have to not like Drake if you really like hip hop music. Why is Drake your guy? Because to your point, even like, imagine like our friend Dave Smith learns to grime, becomes one of the best grime artists, and he takes over and he's like the number one guy. They will look at a mixed rate you from Ireland being the king of grime.
The fuck you know about grime?
They're not. It's never gonna sit well. And I think Mitch said that on when he was staying with Chucky. He says a Canadian light skinned guy from the suburbs being the main guy in hip hop obviously it robs Americans because it's an American thing, came from the Bronx. Because even Stormzy, who grew up in Peckham, when he was doing songs with Ed Sheeran, they were saying he's not for us, man. He and even did a Wiley flow to Wiley, and Wiley's like, nah, man, you're not one of us because why are you doing songs with Ed Sheeran? And this is a guy that grew up in that environment. So for a guy that grew up in Toronto, mixed race, Jewish mom, being the guy in hip hop, and like I remember I told you about this about Simi, like sometimes there's loud characters that for some reason she doesn't take well to. I can understand why a guy growing up in Compton sees this light-skinned Canadian is just like, this is fake. He's it's not
Let's
a
put
real
this way.
guy.
I fully understand why niggas hate Drake. Like, I fully understand. And also, a lot of it's probably him as well.
Yeah.
Bruv, like, are you fucking your mentor's babes while he's in jail? Like,
That's
come on.
conniving.
And then getting his face started.
Like a bitch. Nah, man. That was it, man.
And you know what it is, yeah? Like, rap always comes back to the best kind of rap. Like, let's keep it a buck. There's only really probably one person that has done not violent rap that has been successful, and that is probably Kanye.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's gang shit. Like, let's keep it a buck. A lot of it is gang shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so we're talking about the most hardest. These guys are rappers. They're gangsters. They're this. They're that. And we look at the face, and it's a light skinned nigga that gets his nails done.
And he sings.
Come on.
That's it. It was Kanye with the pink polo that kind of decided to change it. And because of that beginning, like, I know, like, Cole wasn't a gangster rapper either, but it was because someone rapped him, like, I'm from Chicago, my mom was a professor in college, I don't need to do this. And then he's even said 808s. So singing guys like Drake found a place in hip-hop because of that. But then Kanye was still a black guy from Chicago. He could still be like, yeah, but this is still a nigga from Chicago. Exactly. Even if he's doing this, he's been in there. But a light-skinned guy that grew up with a Jewish mom in Toronto, look at him, I was like, why is this guy's not representing us, man?
Bro,
he's
not
representing
fucking
us.
right video is you got a fucking bar mitzvah. Like, let's be fucking for real. And like, we know what happens when we talk about them, man. But so you can do that. And you can talk about them. So you're in between.
No, I get it. That's why I said, like, if Dave Smith just became the biggest grime artist in the world, he's just gonna get hated by proxy of, like, they're looking at a light-skinned guy that grew up in Dublin. They say, "Come on, man, you can't be the face of grime."
Exactly.
But that's what happens when your genre gets bigger. Some people figure out how to do it better.
Yeah, and
that's what happened.
And like that's even why certain people, like, not that I've ever listened to his music, but certain people like Logic will never get rated.
Yeah,
like you're just not going to. And you know what? And it's fine. Like, it's just one of those situations where I think as Drake, you need to just sit down and just understand your position of, like, as much as you might be craving that. And craving that validation from the streets, those people that see you in that way, that's all they're ever going to see you as. Because these are the same people that will shout, "Oh, I don't listen to Drake, but every year
it's in the top 5 stories."
You're number 1, you're number 2.
Well, finally, do you think it affected any of their legacies? Because I don't think it did anything. I think Drake fans are Drake fans, Cole fans are Cole fans, Kendrick fans are Kendrick fans.
I think it affected Drake's legacy, but you know what it is? Drake is so big that effect on his legacy, he's still the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, now after that, yeah, now everything Drake does looks a bit sus.
Yeah, I think Taser said the same thing. Taser says, like, everything, for some reason I look at him and I'm like, that's kind of corny.
even Drake before beef, that song, "Walk on Delilah," people would be like, but then
it's Drake.
Give it a week, people are like, "Oh, this is the best shit ever." Now it's like, Kendrick made me leave hip hop, you know.
It's like the bar about, like, and not like us, about, like, Atlanta. It says very rimy. I love how Kendrick still did woke shit. He said, "Let me give you a lesson about how this guy's a colonizer." I'm like, how are you doing? It just maybe shows, like, Kendrick probably can do that stuff, but he doesn't want it. It's not what fulfills him. Because, like, to your point, like we were talking about the podcast earlier, if I'm not going to do what I actually want to do and put my heart and soul into it, I'm just not going to do it for the charts. I'm going to do it even if people say Mr. Morale's bombed. But that's what I was going through in life. I was going through therapy. I found out my auntie was my uncle. Where's your uncle at? I want to talk to the man of the house. No, it is. She transitioned. But no, that was it. Let's talk about... we didn't get to talk about P. Diddy. Well, speaking of people's legacies, like, to your point, Drake has gone 0-2 now, Pusha and Kendrick, in my eyes. So maybe you look a bit different.
He's got Common's head on the wall as well.
Yeah,
that's Stacey Kimmage versus still one of the greatest.
That is.
Joe. He's got Joe as well. Joe Budden, and who else? He's got a couple. Drake has beefed a lot, man, like, secretly.
And he has the meek one. But speaking of people that ruined their legacies, Diddy, like, I was saying it to Simeon home. I was like, I don't really know Diddy's music. Like, I do, like I told you, I came here when I was 8, 9 years old. By that time, he was already kind of transitioning into a more behind the scenes guy. I think the only verse I've seen him do is "Hello, Good Morning" and "Nasty Girl."
He has a whole album.
I didn't listen to it, actually. Yeah. So I don't really know. I'm not really familiar with Diddy's music, but I do recognize he's big within the culture. He did Bad Boys. Like, he had loads of artists within the culture.
It's more influence than his actual
Yeah,
music.
that's it. So, yeah. See, like, immediately, when Cassie filed, I didn't read I didn't even know what the allegation, I just knew it was like trigger warning for abuse. Next thing, he settled the next day. Immediately, I was like, whatever she has in that lawsuit, nigga did that shit. He did it. Later, then this video more and more starts coming out. He starts saying that like people, like time will tell, they're trying to blah, 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 blah. He's standing on business. People are reading his house. Still standing on business. Then that video drops. Then your heart kind of like drops seeing it. Like, you go through so much. Just looking at him in a towel, looking at the state he's in, looking at him ragdolling another human being.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy, man.
It was just like, what? Just a piece of shit human being. And the fact that he was doing it in a hotel lobby in a towel, not worried about cameras or consequences or anything.
You gotta be a different level of unhinged, bro.
A different level of absolutely tapped. And for him, like, he needs to be next to Harvey Weinstein, because everything they say about this man, Harvey Weinstein,
he's not dead.
No, he's in jail.
Who the fuck am I thinking about?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
Did you say heaven? This guy, that nigga's in hell. He did that.
Yo, facts.
That guy's like, I understand, because when these laws allegation comes out, people will want to see like, oh, let's see how this plays out. Let's hear blah 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 blah. For the most part, I tend to be like, believe what I hear. If there's an actual victim speaking out and said, this is what happened to me, I tend to like, okay, listen to her.
Yeah.
But the fact that then you saw this video, you're like, that's everything. You forget it. That you are a father, you have daughters, you're even posting with your new daughter. I'm suspicious about Kim Porter. Like, because think about how much information a wife knows.
Bro,
think about what your wife has access to.
Even when there's this woman, what's her name? I think it's Jaguar Wright or something like that, and she's just like exposing everything, and she's like, how come certain people just die, and it just continuously benefits some certain individuals? Like apparently, Big was like, it wasn't a small thing. Like, he was seriously trying to leave Bad Boy, start his own thing, and all that kind of shit. All of a sudden, dead. Some guy that used to work for Def Jam was trying to write a book and all this, tell a book. All of a sudden dead. Heart attack as well. Then what's called Kim was trying to write a book as well. All of a sudden heart attack as well. Bro, and you know what it is, yeah? Once again, I watched 2 TV shows for this. Like, I've seen Scandal, I've seen How to Get Away with Murder, I've seen all this shit. Some bookie shit is happening.
Oh,
like niggas are getting niggas killed. Like,
and that whole blew up a car incident that I think it was, who was a Kid Cudi's car, he blew up apparently for dating for trying to date Cassie.
Bro, somebody Cassie was in the studio with somebody, and Diddy came in and hung someone over a balcony. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, yes. I remember hearing that story as well. I remember hearing J. Cole has a song that saying he fought with Diddy. And I think Drake apparently got slapped by Diddy. So this guy, it's a lust for power. Because to get to a point where you are making her engage in sexual activities with other women, it's just because
so sorry. Diddy and Justin Bieber.
Do you see that video?
Imagine, forget about the video, forget about the video in the context here.
Yeah.
It's a grown-ass man with like a 16-year-old boy that ended up living with him. So now it's like, imagine that was a girl. Even it wouldn't be cool then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of like once again, things like this have fucked up certain shit, and not that those things should be happening anyways. But it's like, because at the end of the day, I'm not sending my 16-year-old to go live with anybody.
Yeah.
But it's just like, bro, like you can see instances of why these things would happen and how they could possibly go well, and then how these things wouldn't happen and possibly. So it's like, on one hand, I can hear why when you're in this industry, and it's like, because on a regular level, day to day, I can't walk out on the street and talk to a 16-year-old because I have nothing to talk. You don't have a career, bro. You're focused on what? Your junior, sir?
Yeah.
like the fuck I have to talk to you about. Yeah. Whereas a 16-year-old that's an actress or makes music is like, oh shit, you have this, and it's like, I see talent in you. Let me try and invest in you, all that kind of shit. But then also, it'll just be a front to be doing fuckery.
Like it's such the same. I always say this, like the same drive and power and hunger that created Diddy, it also manifests itself in all of those negative. Like sometimes I don't know who it was. You can't have the goal. Some people said, I don't know if I heal from my trauma, if I can still produce at the high level that I have, because maybe what if that is the driving factor that creates me to be. I remember Charlemagne saying it, like, that's why he's kind of like, he said before going to therapy, he was doing that Breakfast Club, and Breakfast Club was popping because he would say wild shit. But they said he was like, when I went to go deal with all of that, because I was only saying it to project, I started to wonder, are people gonna fuck with me less? And people, the popularity of the Breakfast Club has diminished like over the years, but he's probably a better person. And some people don't know, like, if I kill the dark side, do I still get to be this person? And Diddy's a piece of shit. Like, it's just a lust. It's a lust for power. He doesn't care who he hurts. He saw Cassie. Like, I saw a tweet. Her seeing pictures of her with her hair half shaven is different now. Like, it looked so cool when I was young. I was like, oh, she doesn't care. She's actually, while she shaved half of her hair and she's still hot. You're like kind of like praising. But now that when you see it and you look at her, it's different. Like you're saying in hindsight, like Drake earlier. Now when he does certain things, you're kind of looking at it funny. And now you're looking at those pictures of Cassie and you stare at Cassie. You're like, wow, she visibly, I don't know if it's your eyes, like she may look uncomfortable. She's not really smiling. Does she even want to be there? But nah.
Yeah, but even people even say the same thing about videos with like Diddy and fucking and Usher. And being like, oh, Usher looks uncomfortable here.
Yeah,
and this and that.
yeah.
But then again, the other part of my brain is like, you saw that at that time. Are you only saying they look uncomfortable now because you're trying to confirm something?
That's it. That's it.
But then again, they could actually just be uncomfortable in that situation as well.
And you know, sometimes like when something is spotted, you don't know something until it's probably spotted to you. You might like not notice a car you have, and then you finally see that car, and they start spotting it more and more. But sometimes like you maybe need to be shown a certain thing to pay attention, because we're so focused on our own lives that we're not going to pay them minor details of how someone is appearing in the picture. But when this information is presented to us now, you're like, wait, let me actually go back and investigations do that. Like, when they get information, like, wait, let me go back and see why this was doing this, and then with those eyes, they're like, oh, we can crack this case now. But nah, like that nigga's piece of shit.
To be honest, it's really crazy. Like, that even reminds me of, I was on TikTok and shit like that, and apparently there was this whole debate. It's like a lot of people asking women like, would you rather be stuck in the woods alone with a bear or a man?
A man.
And niggas, first of all, the fact that this is even a question, like the fact that it even has to be thought about, shows how fucked the world is, bro. like that's fucking insane.
And then you see niggas there defending themselves. I'm like, just read what they're saying instead of like.
But you know, niggas just take it as, right, so you think you could beat up a bear?
That's a good point. That's a good. They're doing problem solving. They're doing problem solving in their heads.
If it was a man, at least you fight him like a bear. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? But I think it just goes to like, bro, like as sad as it is, that's how fucked the world is right now. Do you get what I'm saying? And
hope he gets what is coming to him.
He will.
Hopefully it ends up like an R. Kelly. But I wanted to maybe ask you, because there was a topic, like I heard the point of debate on Brilliance, and Charlemagne says it's sad to see him do this to himself, and obviously then the backlash is no, he's get what's coming to him. But the point of view is like seeing someone that influenced culture in the way he did destroy the legacy because of what they have done. Can you actually still say it's sad that you did that to yourself, or you have to be like, nope, you're a piece of shit, whatever happens happens?
I don't think it's sad that you did it to yourself. Like say someone like a DMX that got injected with, or got his weed was laced or whatever, and then he went down the path of like drugs and all this kind of shit. I can hear that. You get what I'm saying? And did something to yourself almost implies that it's saying that you did something to yourself. Whereas something like that, like this is clearly years and years of of like, you like you know what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I always say,
because you're paying $50K to get rid of the thing.
Like I always say, like somebody that like spikes a girl's drink or something like that. There's no like when they're saying, oh, educate men, bro. What education? Like you went out and you went to go do this, You went to go buy this, you went to go do this, you went to go sneak in someone's drink, and you went to go take advantage of somebody, Like, and you're not doing, you're doing it in secret, so you know it's wrong. Did you get what I'm saying? You're hiding what you're doing, so you know it's wrong. So if you already know it's wrong,
why you continuously do it?
Is there a place to educate you if you know it? It's a different situation if you don't know it's wrong. And you're doing something and you're young, you're naive, and you're just being dumb or whatever, But the fact that you know this is wrong and you're not going out to go say this anywhere, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
that I was the same, because you can't feel that's sad, the sadness like that for a grown man when he was doing that to Cassie in that elevator. He was in his 40s. I can't look at it and says, "Oh, it's sad that you're ruining your legacy," because obviously you got backlash for it. Because from one of the perspective, you're saying like, "Oh man, I grew up on Kanye, Cole, and whatever." So if something like that comes out about them, I'd be like, "Fucks me!" Like you just ruined an entire legacy that I've supported. Blah 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 blah. But at the same time, I'm like, "But you were a grown ass man when you were stomping on a woman in her 20s in a towel." There's no way I can even be like,
I'm not gonna lie. Also, the towel thing makes it like. I don't know. There's a certain level in me that you have to be unhinged to be running down.
No, it is
in a towel,
holding a towel in a lobby.
Like you're unhinged to do all of that, but doing all of that with the towel on.
Fuck me,
bro. Like you didn't even take a second. Let me put my boxers on.
And what was sad is she laid there waiting for it to end because she was like, you could tell just like she didn't want to fight back because she didn't want to escalate the situation.
Fight back and do what? Like I think sometimes we actually forget what the gap in strength really is.
Yeah.
Like, do you get what I'm saying?
And she's also tiny, like she's small person, and look at him, full grown ass man.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like shit like that is just honestly, it's just genuinely sad to see.
Yeah.
And I know the whole her getting money or whatever it doesn't make up for anything. But look, I hope she's happy now. She's gotten the help that she needs, and like she's in a better place, and hopefully her strength gives other women strength to not be in those situations. Because honestly, like just even with people that aren't famous, just being like, "Oh, I heard he hits his girl," or and he's just like, "I'm bro." You know, it's like people that you used to fuck with, or people that used to like. You know, the worst part is like when it's somebody that you like used to like. You're so calm. I actually respect you.
Yeah,
and it's like I respect how you handle things, and then you find out that they're on madness, and it's just like.
And in adulthood, I'm always saying, anybody's capable of anything. Like you just can give people benefit of the doubt, but for the most part, if you don't know them like that, and you hear something, you're like, you can't just be out here defending niggas either. You can't be like, nah, man, I've seen him around. He seems calm. He would never do that because ultimately you don't know.
But once again, it just goes back to like people think their bullshit radar is better than it is, and also people look at positive traits and almost means that somebody can be really kind and be really nice to old people and be really nice to all of this kind of situation and still be a piece of shit on the other side. Do you get what I'm saying? What's good? When this call comes on, just let me know and we can pause it.
Yeah.
Stop and all that.
Yeah. Also, did you see to pivot from that, the kind of on the lighter note, do you remember Brass Head on Twitter ages ago?
Yes.
She went viral recently because her friend stole her engagement ring, sold it.
Was that her? I saw that. I was
like, first of all, and because what happened, she did story time. She said their boyfriend was gonna snitch on her, saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm like they got into a fight. He's like, I'm gonna tell Sarah that you stole her engagement ring. Like I'm gonna snitch." And then so the friends came clean. What do you even say or do if someone was in your house and did that to you? First of all, me, if I'm the girl's boyfriend, and I know you stole your friend's ring, I think that I'm gonna break up with you. That's such a big character flaw.
That's mad.
To continue to be with someone. Like, if I know you went into your friend's house, stole her valuables, sold it so we can go on holidays.
Your bestie, you know. It's not like you needed it just to go on holiday.
I think I have to break up with you because I'd be like, that's very unhinged behavior because
that's crazy.
You're showing me a side of you. I don't know if I can be with this like forever. But I just thought that was 1 million views.
I saw one of those threads and it was like, I didn't die when this guy was beating on my boyfriend. I got involved, so he beat me up too. Grabs a break up.
Yeah. If you get beat up and your girl tries to help you, she gets beat up to you. I promise you that girl will never look at you the same again.
But this is the thing as well. Girls want to be getting involved too much. If I'm getting in a fight, please leave. Run and call and get some help. Because you're not helping. Like the thing is, right, in these situations, you're actually making it worse for me. Because instead of focusing on me trying to do what I need to do, I'm focusing on make sure she doesn't get hurt. Now that split second where I'm like, now I'm getting hit.
The whole point of me even getting into the fight is just to protect you. Even if I get beat up or you were protected and you got away,
that's a win for me.
I'll still feel better because let me take the pain. But if we both got the pain and we got that drive home, it must be. We just both got beat up. Jesus Christ. She might actually cheat on you with your friend or something. She might actually cheat on you with your friend.
Oh, you know what? You know what's crazy? Yeah. I've been watching. So you know the Sidemen, obviously.
Yes.
So they have their own reality show now called
Inside Out?
Yeah, no, I thought you were getting called.
No,
Yeah, called Inside or whatever, yeah. So essentially you got 10 content creators, put them in a house. The prize starts at £1 million, right? But when you're in the house, you have to pay for everything.
Oh, okay.
So like they give you they literally give you the basics, but you got to pay for everything. If you want, like I think a can of Fanta was like 6K. Yeah, they made everything crazy expensive. So it's like we're trying to get, for them, they're trying to get the money as low as possible because we don't want to pay you out $1 million.
Yeah.
And like obviously we do you do challenges and stuff like that. You can lose P's in the challenges. They give some people some secret challenges. You don't have to tell if you take the challenge or not. All this kind of shit. And it's just it's so funny.
2 seconds. I'll be back.
Yeah, cool.
What we're gonna do with all this charger merch now in the car?
Bro, if you want it, come get it.
Look, yeah, if you're listening, you want free charger merch. There's something people didn't do well enough in the quiz, so we still have very charger merch.
Yeah, but you know it's because they're smaller sizes.
Yeah, especially the jumpers.
Yeah,
The jumpers is really
and they ran small anyways.
yeah.
So it's like, what if you need a large, probably grab the extra large.
Yeah, exactly. Size bigger. Huh? Back.
Really?
Yeah, reality TV.
Oh yeah, segment there. What's called? So it's like 10 influencers in the house. Price one starts at $1 million. You got to pay for everything. So like, let's say for breakfast, they literally get plain oats. Lunch, dinner, rice and beans, plain rice and beans, cold as well. So like, let's say to upgrade your meal from a regular meal to like something that's actually nice.
Yeah.
10 bags
Oh god.
per person.
How long is this going on for?
7 days. And it's just funny seeing how some people go in there and they care about the money, so they're like trying to not spend. Some people don't give a fuck. Like they put in some of the most, like they put in a guitar. I don't think any of them know how to play a guitar. They put in a keyboard, just a bunch of random shit, and like, let's see how much you guys will have at the end.
Shout out Sidemen though. This is have money to
Bro,
be given
it's
out.
crazy to see how, because like they also did like a behind the scenes.
Is that
and
the one
it's just,
Specs was on?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Bro, like the thing is, I didn't think it was going to be good, but it was actually, and I'm not the biggest reality TV show person, but it was actually good. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's crazy how you go from like making YouTube videos and like just playing games. Bro, this is a whole production.
They're building
like,
a whole empire. It's been a whole production empire, basically.
It's
KSI.
because obviously they have that. They've got their restaurant. They've got their like their own little subscription thing. They've got this.
And they have like loads of shows under their same umbrellas. It's just not like they do one thing anymore. Then it does Misfits, the boxing.
Yeah, so
he's doing that as well.
So it's just kind of like, it's crazy how you go from one thing to building this whole empire. Like
you just have to be shameless.
But genuinely, the show is actually good.
Because I saw the clip of the Specs crying like they found his parents again.
Specs that guy is not a serious man.
I saw him crying. But would you ever do a reality TV?
Nah, I don't think that's my thing. You know.
Would you?
But you know what? If it made sense, I would. Like,
you could do a cheeky Big Brother because I don't know when you could just be chilling. Big Brother doesn't really require. I don't even know if they do challenges or anything. Yeah. They're just really just like launching around the gap.
I'll do this one.
Yeah. 7 days in out.
In out. Let's get in there quick. Let's do what we need to do and get the fuck out of here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like people are out here because like cold showers, like
you have to pay for a hot shower as well.
Pay for a hot shower. It was like, I think it was like £100 a minute. But then they did like a what was it? They did like a question thing where like if you get a question wrong, they dump shit on you. So after that challenge, then they changed it to it's 1,000 a minute. So it's kind of like things change at different times. People going in there spending money, coming up lying to everybody about it.
And is it only one winner?
Yeah. Or what's called at the end? It was like at the end you can. It's one of those ones where they do a split or steal.
Oh, okay.
But it's good, man. You give it a watch.
Nah, I might give it a watch.
What else? Love Island.
Are you even watching?
So.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't know if I'm getting older, or they just get more annoying. Like because why? There's been at least 6 people have cried within the first 3 days.
Why?
I do not. Because they like each other, innit? Within the first, I will say though.
You don't get the fuck.
I'm not even. They're just tears, and what I will say though, watching Love Island, maybe Instagrams and socials has actually kind of messed up perception of beauty, let's say, because watching flipping Love Island 7 or 8 years ago, you see girls, you're like, oh yeah, she's kind of lank. Oh yeah, now I'm looking at them, I was like, this is just my if you click on Instagram Explore, you just see like tens of these that even look nicer. That's why they're not on Love Island, because they already have the brand deals or whatever. So it's skews your perception a little bit. But I will say, one Mimi, shout out her. It's good for
Yeah,
her.
I've been hearing and him.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, but also, you know, the thing with Love Island, the first couple of episodes is always boring.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It hasn't even been boring. They're just more unhinged. Like it's like they didn't do the mental check this time.
That's great TV.
Everybody, yeah, it's great TV.
The more
everybody just tapped from the beginning. I'm like, at least let it marinate and get to show your tappings later.
Is it worth locking into?
It's not really really ever worth locking into. It's just like at 9 p.m. You have nothing to do.
Yeah,
stick
you
it
know
on.
what? It's always more about the timeline than the actual.
Yeah, that's it. Love Island timeline. It's just as good as like when there's a big sporting event on. Those are the only two times like you're like,
Fam,
let
that
me get the
summer,
joke.
was it Euros or World Cup?
Either or.
Either or Love Island right after.
And then you're just there, everybody. And like if Love Island during the AFCON would have been even better.
Oh, stop.
The tribalism of the AFCON it killed me this time. And now they've introduced it. But that's it. That's it.
Actually, speaking of like, I was watching Mr. Beast the other day, yeah, and he threw two guys in the wilderness, yeah, and said every day you stay, I think you get $10, right? So two random guys, they just met each other that day. How long do you think you can stay in there?
How do you get food?
First day he drops you off like 10 days worth of food. A couple days, like I think like a couple days later, he then offered them for $50, I'll give you 10 days more worth of food. And then like you fish, you do whatever you need to do.
Oh, so you have to you get a sleeping arrangement.
You have to make it work.
Oh.
Like the guys that were there, to be fair, they did very fucking well.
How long did they stay?
Oh, I think they stayed for like 60 something days or something.
60?
Yeah, they were or like 30 something. No, actually no, it was like 75. Yeah.
I was gonna say 7.
And what's called one of them, like their plan originally was to stay for the year, but one of them just had a newborn not too long ago. One of the days they got to pay some money to see their wives or whatever. One of them is just him and his wife. The other one, his wife, his like 3-year-old or 2-year-old kid and a baby. And she was like, bro, if you made enough money, come home, kind of a situation. So he was just missing his wife. So he like at like day 60, he was ready to go. And his friend, the other guy was like, look, we said we're trying to get out here millionaires. Like, let's just even keep it 65. Let's keep it 70. So all they had to do to get out of there was shoot this flare gun. So the guy with the family, he was like, you know what? So we don't turn on each other. I'll give you the gun and I'll take the bullet. So we can't do without each other.
Yeah.
That same guy was going to steal the gun at the end. I think they were up like.
How long would you stay?
Me now?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm in there. Like, bro, assuming I have the skills to, because they got to a point where they were actually surviving. They made beds, they made shelter, they started cooking. One of them made like a makeshift boat and everything. Like, they could have kept staying.
Where did they go toilet?
Bro, it's the wilderness. Like,
okay, shower.
Bro, I don't know about all them things there. But it's just the two of them in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day. And $10,000 a day, bro. Like for me, I don't have a wife or girl come home to.
It's 60 days. That's like what, 600K?
Yeah. So yeah, they left around 300, like because they took some money out for food and like seeing their family and shit. But like
now
they cleared about 300 each.
Isn't like it's funny watching things just go back around, because this is like a show you would watch back in the days, like what were those called? There'd be like two teams, red team and yellow team. They'll be in the wilderness. Remember all those shows that used to exist? I can't remember which, but I know exactly and then or Survivor, or even X Factor. Like it's just like now it's just the YouTubers, like they're doing reality shows or the concept. You can already be like, oh yeah, I've kind of seen this concept, but they're just bringing it back around. Things just goes around in circles.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I think starting to like hear people talk about reality TV shows and just kind of understanding it now, it kind of ruins a lot of it. Like even Come Down With Me, apparently it's not like like they're there for the day. Every meal you get is essentially cold because like they've got to get it from all these different angles. And even watching the behind the scenes of the Sideman thing, it was like they had a bunch of people, like a bunch of TV people, and it's like usually what would happen is they'd get it from one angle, then they'd get it from another angle and be like, oh, can you say that again? Can you do this again? Kind of situation. So it kind of loses the
authenticity.
But then because it's YouTube and the YouTubers get whatever they want to do, it kind of gives it back where it's like they're saying, why would we do that again? Like you got it right, you got the reaction. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why. Like at the end of the day, it's the same thing that they always say. No, there's no new ideas.
It's just whatever existed. You're probably just doing that to a better fashion. Even on like content, Kais and that people are he said he made Kevin Hart funny again. Did you see any of those clips?
I saw the clips. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like Kevin Hart. Like
It was Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart.
Yeah, like I guess because he's like kind of like Drake. People are so horny to say he's not funny, like or he hasn't been funny or he's not funny anymore. So whenever he even shows anything, it's like, oh look, he's funny again.
Low key, like you know what it is. Yeah, I feel like being a funny person and being a funny stand-up comedian is two different things, and especially when you've become. Like, you know, annoying funny gets annoying very quickly.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of the character that he ends up playing in all the movies. So it's kind of like, if that's the only place we're seeing you, and every time you pop out for a special, you're not the same.
Yeah.
Or maybe even you are, but we just expect more from you now at this point.
Because he was good hosting Tom Brady's roast. Because I guess it could have been more like, it wasn't stand-up. Yeah, he was just like, well, that's very good hosting.
I'd say on a day-to-day, Kevin Hart is still very fucking funny.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's one of those situations where you call someone dead, but if you saw them in real life, are they like, you call this movie star, this pop star, whatever, she's not even fine. You see them in real life, that's what you're moving to.
And then she puts it on you, you're like, what? I thought she wasn't even fine. I thought you said
niggas just start crumbling and shit.
But shout out, like, again, streamers, it's like a whole new path, and I kind of like how the established people are going there. I guess you have to have smart people around you. You can't just ignore the Kai Cenat platforms anymore. They're kind of too big to just say, what the hell is streaming? You can't have the same eyes you had on YouTubers. Oh, they're just YouTubers. Or we're going to do traditional TV. All that shit is dead. Yeah, they just keep creating new lanes.
But to be fair, when you look at the streamers and you see the P's that they're making, and there's also just watching. I was on Twitch because obviously I'm on Twitch when I watch Sam, Short Boy Sam. First of all, I was one of the days I was having a shitty day, bro. Like I was just having a shitty day, and because I'm subscribed to Sam on Twitch. And I was scrolling through TikTok and it's like, oh, Sam's on live. I was like, fuck it, I'm not. You know, one of those days, you go on to watch whatever. I popped it on. I was having actually, I ended up on it for like a good 2 hours just watching him stream because it's actually entertaining. Genuinely made my day.
Is that what they do? They're just like on the stream and you're watching.
Yeah, but like the thing, but you know what it was? Yeah, like there was like maybe like 10 of us in the chat. So, and we're like listening to music and shit like that. Fam, this nigga didn't know who Bashi was. He's like, who's this guy from Top Boy? And then he saw Kane was like, Kano? Isn't that the guy from Top Boy? When did he start rapping? And then like
I love when that happens.
Did you know what I'm saying? Then we just started like listening to like different music, like old school grime music. Then I called because we were talking about, because he was like, who's this guy? Chip. So I called him, I was like, yo, listen to this beef, blah 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 blah. It's just like hanging out, isn't it?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it was actually good. But
you have your own little community that you hang out with. Yeah.
Kai does 24-hour streams, and one of the days I just refreshed the Twitch stream because obviously time difference in that. For the like I see it and it's like 26k people watching. Yeah, I click the stream. This nigga's asleep, bro. This nigga's asleep. So it's like to have an audience that engaged. Even when you're asleep, it's hard to ignore those things.
Jesus.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
because the Kevin Hart did, I think it's his highest ever now. It did like 350k or something. Just on like that was. I was like, and the good point is like back in the day they would have put them two in a movie, in like a little big bro, little bro. Like there was a concept that they would have used because their chemistry and their banter seem like very natural between them. But then again, I say that about Kai Cenat. I've seen him with that when they call him Femi Omowori, whatever he's. The guy that was taking him around, he had good chemistry with him. So he's just one of those people that he knows how to work the streams. Yeah,
it's one of those situations where when you can't get that big without being entertaining.
Yeah,
and like if you're entertaining almost regardless who's there. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just one of the like it just goes back to I feel like there was a point where TV was about being perfect. Like entertainment was about everything being perfect, everything being polished, nothing being out of place. I feel like as the barrier for entry has lowered, people have more more connection with like more authentic shit, just like you and your amateur porn.
I hear it.
You know what I'm saying? Where you don't want to watch the big production and all of that. You just know it's not really like it's not really like it's overly produced, it's overly too much, whereas it's just like if you see Kevin Hart in any other space, he's probably like, yeah, cool,
yeah,
blah, blah.
businessman.
But in that space, you could just
be Kevin Hart hanging out with like your little brother and like making fun of him how he was trying to hit on Tyler. Man.
That's crazy, man.
Shout out them and what else happened? The Shits and Gigs, they look like those boys are out of here.
Oh,
I saw the tree arena. I was like, they make like I've never met people and you're just genuinely so happy for them. Like you're just like, yes, guys,
I love it, man. Like,
keep going, man.
I genuinely love it, man.
The O2 show, the set, like. People have to understand they're like the outlier. Like it's not normal what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's not like a common thing that you just see a podcast because everybody thinks they can start going to talk on the mic and blow and become Shits and Gigs. And it's okay to have that dream, but understand that this is a thing that we've barely seen. And I think I was having this conversation with Morris. I was saying the thing is like, not even in a like rude way, but I'll use this analogy. When you look at Tyler Perry, it felt like he did movies for black people. They're like black movies. Whereas Jordan Peele, those movies with black cast. It's not like Nope isn't like a black movie. It's just a scary movie with black cast. And sometimes I feel like Shits and Gigs are just a podcast with black people in it. Yeah. Whereas there's some podcasts, maybe like a Three Shots. It's like that's like a black, like it's a black podcast, and that's kind of what helps them translate a bit more and kind of branch out, and they can do all of that. Whereas Tyler Perry, we enjoy his movies, but I wouldn't say they break box office numbers. I love a good Tyler Perry.
Not in recent years.
Maybe not recent years.
There was like I want to say, 2010 to maybe like a 2013.
Yeah, Temptations, Acrimony. Take me there. Take me there.
You know what I was thinking about the other day? Yeah, I was just on Netflix and I was watching something. Yeah. And I was just like, do you remember the days where you had to use dodgy websites? Yeah. And then you had to play it, but play it on mute so it loads to a certain point. Yeah. And just let it play and then come back.
Or you have to pause it to blur the buffer and then come back.
They don't know the struggle.
That everything just gets streamed, yeah.
I guess we can't do a pod without talking about the scene.
What's it talk about? Bitch, I was gonna talk about the scene, yeah. I was gonna come here and be petty and be a smoke. But then I said 1 Corinthians 13:11. I am no longer a child. I've never I'm a grown up. Some things I was gonna say on this scene that I see, but I'm like, you know what? Why? Why am I gonna give it that much energy and smoke? I feel like what's the point?
Honestly, you know what?
It's kind of dying though, isn't it?
Smoke aside, I was about to say low key.
It's kind of dying though, isn't it? Where's everybody at? Where's everybody at?
Where's 3 days, nigga?
Where's everybody? It seems like a lot of people, a lot of us, like we're even stopping. A lot of shit seems like it's gone stagnant.
Facts.
It's like, why is nobody why do you think that is?
I've said this a million times over and over. I just feel like the Irish market is broken, bro.
In what way?
In the way of like, unless you're a very specific kind of person, maybe like a Dave.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
I get what exactly.
Like it's very hard to blend both of those worlds.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen a podcast like you said, Shits and Gigs are a podcast that just happen to have black people on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe we're the wrong generation for that, but I don't know if that's as possible here. Just because I feel like there is still a lot of segregation here. And I say this with a pinch of salt, fuck that. If a white person walks into a room and there's too many black people, bro, they're walking out, bro. They're immediately, and I've heard it so many times of like, it's just not for us kind of a situation. You might see a couple people that fuck with culture. Let's say the likes of a Mick now, yeah. Mick and his boys, 4 of them. You might see them at a little show kind of a situation. But apart from that,
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's usually it's usually the whites that are already kind of in the culture that will fuck with us. But outside of that, and because like our cultures don't mix too much, so if you listen to like the Malloy Twins podcast,
yeah,
and you listen to like they do interviews, so I would liken them to, let's say, like a Dongo. Completely different. And even Dongo is more crossover than most the likes of us.
Yeah. Because at least he has the accent. And there's something about him that's at least relatable to them. Whereas for the rest of us, it's kind of like we haven't really crossed over. And maybe you're right, we're still first generation. And whereas maybe it'll be as they could Travis and else. When I used to go to Rights, it was strictly niggas.
Facts.
And 1 or 2 white babes with their niggas boyfriends. That was it. That was a room. I went to Travis Adels, yeah. Like, I'm 30 now. And I'm seeing like 22, 23 year olds, people like 8 years, 9 years older than me. it's more mixed than most rooms I would have been in when I was their age.
Right.
That kind of rate. So with time, it's just there's going to be more and more mixing and blending, more and more mixing and blending, and maybe we will eventually get there. But right now, it just feels like our top musicians haven't been dropping. In fact, people are not dropping. Shout out Young Giz, War in the Club class.
It's gonna be.
So people are not dropping as often, and I don't think people are pushing or promoting their brand like they used to with the same aggression, the same publicity, the same PR. Like the only ones that are doing it right now is Get the Gist.
Because
they're the only ones pushing their shit.
Bro, some people have been rapping for 10 years and the headline show ain't selling. Like,
do like charge your put the plug. Stop right now.
We know where on top, bro. No, but you know what it is though. Like, it's just one of them situations where even like we always say, the real money is in the casuals, right? And there aren't enough white casuals.
Yep.
Do you get what I mean?
Because we're in a predominantly white country.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like, I don't think you can break just off Ireland alone.
Yeah.
Like, look at what Dammy's been doing. Dammy's been doing what Dammy's been doing since before Love Island. It wasn't until he
got that audience.
Push,
yeah.
Because once again, you have to have the audience, you have to have the eyes for people to be like, okay, yo, excuse me, I want to fuck with that. Once you have the eyes of people saying I want to fuck with that, that's when people are like, okay, this is now worth the money. Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right, what's next up from Sugar Club? Sugar Club's what, a 200-seater venue or something like that?
200-300 probably
okay,
max.
Now let's say you want to start doing a 400 on something that is like something that's not as universal as music. Music, anybody can enjoy music.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like our black experience, and we're speaking about our black experience and shit like that, you walk into, like, it's hard to sell that to somebody that is so far removed from us that doesn't even know we exist or anything like that kind of a situation. And I feel like that's why it's so hard to break in Ireland. And it's one of those situations where you keep going, and it's like the amount of money we're pouring into this versus what we're getting back sometimes.
We're getting back for it, yeah.
Is a bit...
And it can be discouraging. And you have to truly love it. And shout out, like, to your point earlier, like, to an artist doing it for 10 years and not seeing that break. It's because they love doing music.
Exactly.
It's because... like, they genuinely enjoy doing the music and they don't see the money as a waste or anything. They just see it as like, this is something I enjoy doing. I can put money into this for 20 years because I enjoy doing it. Whereas there's other people who are like, I do this because it's fun. And the minute it starts to cost me too much, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, as the minute it's cost me too much time, like, this is us. I was like, oh, we do this because it's fun. And the minute we realize, like, no, we need a team to actually progress it or put bare peas into progressing it. It's all right.
You're looking like, I'm spending $600 a month on this thing, yeah. I could go on holiday.
Yeah, and how much do I really love it? So, but I think that's like, it felt like we had a window and everybody could get their creative bag out. And like you're saying, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm within this market and demographic, I'm known. But to really break through, I need the other side. And it just feels like there's a lot of stagnation.
Or you just got to leave Ireland. Like, when I say leave Ireland, doesn't mean you have to physically leave the country. But like... market to places outside of Ireland with bigger communities of black people and bigger communities of people that will actually tap into your content. Because at the end of the day, what was the percentage you looked at that time? Was like, what, we're 1.5%?
1.5% of the population.
Tiny population
anyways. Tiny population, and that's then remove the age demographic that doesn't pertain to you.
Do you get what I'm saying? remove the adults, remove anyone under the age of, let's say 14. I think 14 is when you start really
engaging content,
engaging your own content. So it's kind of like, okay, then remove the people that just don't care about what you're doing or just don't fuck with what you're doing. Like, you're left with such a small amount of people, and it's kind of like, now when it comes to like, okay, how are you watching other brands build their product? It's like, okay, you get your following, then you might start a Patreon. So it's like, okay, even there's a little bit of cash coming in there. You start pumping out your content. You start doing all these different things. And it's like, it's hard to do that on a limited budget when you're still trying to live your life and do what you're doing, but then invest in this thing and then also go outside and live what you want to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
And then as a responsibilities growth in your life, you might then get a mortgage and get engaged and then you have a wedding to plan too. So you're not going to put on a live show when I have peas that needs to go to the wedding. And my missus, we need to do this for the house. And as a responsibility grows in life, you also be like, you're less willing to just take risk on you start justifying, it's only a hobby. I only do this because it's fun. Like, you start justifying it in your head, so you then don't put money into that. And to your point, like even in the UK, at least there's a black market is big enough. Like you look at the 90s babies who you can't say maybe they're predominantly a black podcast, because if you go to the live shows or the victors that I've seen, it's mainly black people, but it's still enough for them to quit their jobs. They're still making enough income with that black audience to leave their 9 to 5s. Whereas here, no way. There's no way, like, if you just have a black audience, you can just say, "Oh, I'm quitting my job." Like, heck, you might even have a tiny white audience because the population of the country is just so small. Like London itself is just bigger than the whole country,
like
population-wise.
Even if you had like 1% of the market share over there, it's so much more bigger than 1% of the market share.
Exactly,
over here, kind of a situation. And it's like, because you know what, recently, not that I've been paying attention to the scene or whatever, like, boy, it just seems like everything is just dormant right now.
Yeah, it's going to be stagnant.
Musicians, once again, maybe I'm not looking because I tapped out a long time ago with all this shit, but like it doesn't seem like anybody's really dropping music. Like someone might drop a single here or there, but it seems like musicians are doing some shows. Well, summertime, I'm expecting that. Podcasts, in terms of podcasts, if I'm keeping it a buck, Dongo's on is mid seasons. I haven't seen an announcement of when the next season is coming out.
Yeah, right.
What's it called? Where's Your Head At? Honestly, it just feels like it's not the same it was.
Yeah, they're not pushing it as much as they were on their social media. Like I listen to them and they're still cold at potting. Like they told the story. Yeah, they told the story about Bathsheba. I was laughing in the car, and I think I had a conversation with Tommy. But they need to go back to like pushing their content as the way, maybe not to the same level as Get the Gist are.
They need to do exactly what Get the Gist are doing. The only people that I can see that is like, yo, I'm still really on this thing is Get the Gist. And once again, like, Bar for Bar, I'm not doing anything. Bar for Bar, did they even exist?
No, they've stopped.
They don't even exist anymore. Like we've tapped out. It's just like, and once again, like you gotta respect what the girls are doing, because we haven't seen anybody else cross over. We haven't seen, like, as much as the boys have had Taser on their show, Priscilla on their show, all those.
Dan,
but the thing is, bringing people to your thing. You used to have to go there and try and eat off of their audience and go to them, kind of situation. And I can't remember who tweeted it, but it was like, if someone's making out the hood first, it's them.
If they're gonna get paid for it,
it's like they keep proving it every chance.
I remember, I think the first episode I listened to was like one of the first season. It was with KD, and I think I texted you and I was like,
that was the first episode I listened to.
So if they just keep going, there's something here, and it's proven. It's proven to be that, because I always said like the conversations are very palatable, very digestible. Like my sister listens to them, I can listen to them. There's 15 years between us. Whereas the conversation I have, my sister and a friend, it might not pertain to me as easily as the ones that the girls might have. So, and maybe there's also a factor that she's a black girl and she's actually seen black girls also on the podcast. That could be a factor that's actually helping them.
All are from Ireland as well, so it's kind of like when they talk about certain things, it's like certain things you can actually do.
Exactly, yeah. So their experience might be closer, because I always say my experience is closer to the Where's Your Head At, because they're married black and Irish guys that grew up Christians. So I'm gonna go. That's my closest experience. So that's kind of why sometimes I would still tap in more. But the podcast definitely gone dormant. The musicians, I think Cello needs to come back this year. Like it's been maybe
Cello has to drop this year.
Album.
Cello needs to give us some
6 songs.
Give us some music for the summer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because like I can't keep rinsing Cello.
As cold as it is. So we also, I think you were saying it to Jafaris, we need the people who are the best at doing it to continually to do it, because that's the only way you get eyes on it. It's all good and well, people doing it, but if they don't have the same eyes as like a Cello or a Jafaris or an Officer, it won't have perhaps the same impact. Not to say they won't break through, but if the people at the top of the food chain are performing, and they are right there right now, like Travis and Else and all them, they keep performing, then okay, you'll see more on it. But at the minute, it feels like it's
everything feels
like I don't even remember last time I saw a Black and Irish throw an event, because usually it's summertime. They always throw like events right now when
honestly
barbecues and Guinness Storehouse. What?
I low-key forgot they were still about.
Yeah, so see, like everybody's just kind of like,
I don't know if it's one of those situations where a lot of people are burnt out because, like someone said, after COVID, you had your 2 years.
You had your 2 years, and then now it's kind of like the COVID period is well and truly gone, and you would know, even if you're applying for jobs, people are trying to hide from. They're trying to get you to come in. The hybrid model is slowly being phased out. But people that got the hybrid model while they were in COVID can still do it. But if you're trying to move companies, a lot of companies are like, come on site. So that period, because at this stage now it was 4 years ago. So that period is essentially kind of came to an end since it started. So maybe also people have gone back to their normal lives, and we don't have as much time to invest in are creative endeavors that's ultimately not paying. People that get fulfilled by it emotionally and spiritually, maybe they keep going.
Yeah, but those kinds of people are never going to stop doing it.
Yeah, like a JLOL. I can't see JLOL stop doing music.
Yeah, like
he loves it.
JLOL, all of them. I can't see them. You know what? Even Jafar's.
Yeah.
Like Jafar's loves music. He just doesn't want to
do it as a career.
Everything that comes with
Yeah.
it, and that's why we say we want to pod like Jafar's. But I don't know. Maybe it's one of those situations where everybody's scheming and everybody's plotting, and it's one of those situations where August comes around, you're going to see bang, 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 bang.
That could be true too. That could be like I was saying a bit started the episode about people maybe saving at the start of the year and then proposing in the summer. And that's why you see more proposals around this time of year.
Maybe everyone's spending their money on proposals. Because, bro.
At this rate, man.
You know, I was on, I think I was looking at someone's Snap or something the other day. Bro, person dropped a whole wedding. I was like, we didn't even know you were engaged.
That's because they still want to be outside. I'm joking. I don't know who the person is. I don't put that on them.
You know what it is though, yeah? Like, if you were dating in this day and age, yeah, would you be more in person or online?
If I was, see, I was thinking about this. Everybody that I've been with, I've met in person. Like I meet them and I build a rapport with them. I can't remember. I don't know if I've ever just chatted to like someone online and it actually led to something tangible. Like everybody, like I met them in school, my secondary school, college, everybody's church. Everybody I meet, it's like, oh, yes, you meet you in person. We have a rapport and it leads to something. So I don't know if I was in this age at the time where I think like you have to be online. I guess you have to adapt to the game.
When I say online, let's
like Hinge, Twitter. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I guess you have to adapt to the game, like adaptation, because everybody's there. You have to meet people where they are.
Yeah, but people are in real life too.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
but see, back then,
do you think man so approach like just out of the blue, just cold. I don't know you, don't know you. Let me go say hi to you.
I don't think man has it in them as much as maybe our generation did. Because I think because they have Insta now, they find their Insta and DM them later, or like a story or follow. And like, I think a lot of people would do that approach.
But I can't see him like, oh, I saw you earlier, bro.
Yeah, some people might not straight away. They might see you find your Insta, just liking a few stories here and there, and then later on reply to a story, then build a conversation. But they'll play it longer. Whereas because they know I can find your Insta and get you later. Back then, you have to be like, if I don't talk to you now, I'm not seeing you again. If I don't get your number today, who knows if I can ever see you? But now, like especially Ireland, you'll be like, yo, who's that girl? They'll go, this and this and that. What's her Insta? And then you can play it that way. So that way, if they reject you, you can just delete and it never happened. But in person, you have to walk.
You follow, they don't follow, you follow.
I actually wonder if Mandem just walk to like leave their Mandem group. I say, yo, see that babes, I'm going to chat to her. Remember, like that used to be a thing. Like you see a babes, and if she rejects you, you come back to the Mandem and everybody's laughing. But I wonder, like, if people are like below 25, they see a girl and be like, I'm going to walk to her.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Like
I still see Mandem do it now. Like when they're outside kind of situation, moving to girls and stuff like that. But
actually, a friend of mine says she still gets moved to. Like she says she'll be walking home in like her work uniform, and she'll still get moved to. But it'll be older crowd. It'll be like people that that's how they used to move to girls. Like if they see her at work or whenever they see her in person, that's when they move to her. But I don't think she said like for the most part that's mainly the older generation. But back on the same thing, what is there more do you want to see now? Like what's there left to do? Just to cross over?
Everything. Like do you know what I'm saying? Like we always say, we don't have one. Yeah. Like I know we've named it the scene or whatever, but we still don't have one.
Yeah.
Like we still don't have enough people that are self-sufficient. We still don't have like a core audience. Every time somebody has quote unquote made it, have they really? Like if we want to keep it a buck, yeah. And obviously this is from my own personal knowledge. I don't know everybody and all that kind of shit. Out of everybody, I think Dami's the only person I could say that has gone there and didn't have that 6-month peak and then they're right back.
Like he lives that life for like 2 years now.
Yeah,
like that's the life he lives.
That's just Dami at this point. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like apart from that, I don't really know if there's anybody else that like I know Hair Squad. They had their time, but they had maybe a year, 2 years, and even then.
And then do you think musically, do we have that like Hair Squad and Soleil kind of peak since then? Like. Those were, they look like they even, maybe I guess Cello didn't really cross over to those levels, and so did Officer, didn't they? And Travis and Nelson having a number one album. But it felt like that era was bigger.
Nowhere near that level.
Yeah, like it felt that era was bigger.
Hair Squad had their, Goldlink took their song and put it on his album.
Yeah.
That's a different level. And also with Soleil, literally, I've heard that song so many times, but I've never looked for the song.
Yeah, because I feel like we haven't peaked to that level, even though we've probably had more peaks, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like we've had like Cello, Officer, Travis, so we've seen more people actually do it now, but I don't think we've seen it to like Air Squad
like
level yet.
I don't walk in Central and hear a Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
I was walking into Central and hearing
I can't explain
every time. It was summer 16. That summer 16, I was in a taxi hearing it. It is hearing it. Like I couldn't avoid that song. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas like I don't feel like there's been something to that level of like, yo, this like even I remember one time on HC, Paul just comes and is like, yo, these Hair Squad guys, and started playing the songs on the pod. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it seemed like
we've definitely. I think that's true because we've had a higher peak, but now we're seeing it more. We could say over the last few years we've seen it more consistently.
Yeah.
We've seen like people, let's say, be at a high level charting, selling out Academy, selling now Button Factory, bit more consistently. But back then it felt like it was a wave.
Yeah, but and once again, it's one of those situations where, like, with Soleil's song, that didn't matter. It didn't matter what that Soleil's song was the shits and gigs of music.
Yeah,
it didn't matter if you were white, black, whatever.
It was just a song.
That song was playing.
It was just a song.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas nobody cared. Do you get what I mean? Whereas with everything else, it feels like, yo, this is a song for the streets. Like Blockbuster is a banger. It's an undeniable banger, but it's more of a street banger.
It's more for us.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas we don't have
us.
something that is like we don't have something that is just like, yo, everybody can fuck with this.
Yeah, and then we haven't had one probably like in a minute. Like, cause that Air Squad, that thing was out. You'd hear it everywhere. You'd hear it in stores and everything. So
yeah, but to be honest,
shout out to everybody.
I feel like if we're talking about people being successful off shit, I think podcasters are probably going to be the last.
I agree.
Like
I've always said, I think podcasts as well. It looks from the outside it requires the least amount of talent or skill. Because from the outside, no, like I do it. But I understand from the outside you're looking at people have conversations. Yeah. At least we're rapping. You have to write bars, flow on a beat, make sound. Like there's actually like things you need to do. Whereas a pod, I looked at a pod. I said, she's talking with his mates and laughing. I can do that.
And you know what? That's why I don't consider myself as a creative.
Neither do I.
Because I'm just like, people always tell me, yeah, Dej, don't diminish your thing or don't downplay your thing. But it's just because like it's for me, it's one of those situations where, bro, I'm just having a conversation. Like I'm not doing anything differently to what I do.
Yeah.
If we're chatting, we're probably having this conversation maybe a bit wilder.
Exactly.
But it's the exact same thing. Whereas like. Maybe, but then once again, maybe because we might have the art of having a conversation.
Yeah,
like it doesn't mean anything to us, and it's just like if you've been good at something from birth, it's just like, wait, can everybody else do that?
Yeah.
Whereas like some rappers are probably like, look, I've just been.
I just Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work, especially like musician can drop their 6 songs now, go away and come back, and that requires skill. Coming weekly, do like it is a lot of effort to put into it.
Yeah.
But I can openly say. Maybe the one-on-one, like what Sharon and Godi do, is probably a bit more difficult because especially what he does, because he's trying to also be entertaining as well as interview and trying to find out about you. Maybe that's but like if I'm in a room with Tommy and Katie, like it's like, oh, we're just having a conversation. So that way, from the outside, I can understand, especially when there was like everybody was doing a podcast. I can understand people looking at guys saying like, what, they're getting attention and clips and likes from talking. Let me do that, and everybody finds out, oh. They do this every single week. We've had people that when we stopped potting, they told us, I think Nay said, and you guys do this every Sunday. I think that's what makes podcasts hard.
Yeah.
The consistency required to do a week in, week out.
I was even thinking, I think podcasts are going to be the last to pop just because, first of all, apart from the fact that it's so niche, like it's very, if you realize a lot of times people listen to podcasts like obviously that they connect with, like Black girls love what? The receipts. I said what I said. 2 black women chatting about their experience. Brilliant idiot, a black guy, white guy chatting about their experience. Like a lot of people tune into shit that they can relate to and people that they like listening to.
Yeah.
Whereas with music, you can get me off of a song.
Yeah, like we're talking about Sully.
Or even fashion niggas, bruv. Like at the end of the day, fashion is fashion. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Asian, whatever. Fashion is fashion.
It looks if it looks aesthetically nice, because sometimes you see a TikTok, you see it's an Asian guy doing the transitions, and you're like, oh, this is cool.
Like,
you don't really care. Yeah, with fashion, there's not as much of a race element to it. Like whereas same probably with music, unless you listen to, like obviously there can be music with racial components, but like I Can Love Tonight, it's just a song. Like there's no real you can play it anywhere. Whereas podcasts sometimes, to the point earlier, you could be like a black podcasts, you're related to a certain demographic, and you might like as big as the receipts are. They really are. The demographic is black women, and that's like sometimes it might be harder for them to be as big as they can be because they have a very, very niche demographic, but they fuck with them so heavy that they can keep doing. At least they have enough of an audience to be like, oh, we're here for black women to have funny because they had Dizzy Mills on, and Tolly was like, I used to be like, yeah, girls, and when I'm getting cooked, I see the girls cooking me because he said the reason I didn't have Zizzy on because I knew girls didn't really fuck with Zizzy, so me, I was doing girl, and then when I'm getting cooked, I'm seeing girls cooking me. I said, Zizzy, come on, man, because why am I pleasing you, man? Fuck, just come and chat to us.
Well, I think that's just what it is. I'm just realizing that people are gonna chat shit no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's why I don't know the whole scene thing, and you know what? That's also another part of it, and it's not like that's another part of the ending as well. It's not that I don't rate our thing. It's also just like I very much know who I am.
Yeah,
and it's one of those situations where it's like a lot of stuff outside of the pod. Personally, am I completely ready to do that now? I'm not 100% sure, but apart from that as well, it's just like the market that we're in. I just feel like it's just broken.
It's
the same. It's the same thing with events as well. Like, no matter how good your event is in Ireland, you're kind of capped.
Yep.
Like okay, let's say License to Party, they started popping for a while, and it was like, yo, License to Party. Then it became one thing. It's like, oh, if you've been to one, you've been to them all. Even my brother's events to a certain degree. Like it just seems.
Yeah, like, has he stopped that?
See, the thing is that nigga's been flirting with leaving events for a long time.
Yeah,
like
he just like me and Podded.
But that's the thing. I don't know. Like the thing about him, is I don't know if it's the ego within him or if it's the fact that he loves doing events. Because I'm not sure if he loves doing events or if it's one of those situations where you niggas keep playing with my name. You know who I am.
And like back to the point, and I agree with you. It's also like I know who I am as well. It's actually good, and so with that self-awareness, you know your market and you know your demographic. And if I couldn't do what a James does, because James I know is like a mixed race guy, but sometimes I'm like, oh, he can cross over so easily, and so does Fuhad because they bounce off each other. He can cross over so easy because of some of his joke, his humor, and his mannerism. If you close your eyes, you wouldn't know what his ethnicity is. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes, like, because of where we are in this market, it's also thinking like, I need to be a podcast, not a black podcast.
Facts.
And I don't know how, like, maybe that's an art on us. It's a skill thing that we have to learn to just be like, oh no, let's just be a podcast and engage and talk to, and maybe we just don't have that. And it's also acknowledging that and being like, we can just keep doing this, and it could be a nice hobby to have, and acknowledging we are capped, and that's fine. This we're capped, but let's just do it because we enjoy doing it. But it's too much money to just do it.
It's like the thing is, like, we've never gone out of our way to become a black podcast. It's just one of those situations that all of my experiences, the way that I speak, who I am, is very.
We're still very.
It's just black.
Yeah, we're not too far removed from our parents.
Yeah,
like maybe my son, but then he's gonna have the black woman. But like, you don't know. Like, you don't know when that break might come. Whereas in the UK, they're 3-4 generations down, and they grow up like they're growing up in. And fucking James grew up in Northampton. Like you grew up. I heard him on the podcast. He grew up in Northampton, so maybe it's an experience where you feel like he's the black guy there because of his skin tone around white people. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. This market where we are in the scene, to your point, the podcast would probably be the last to break through. I always talk Godi Mai because the accent and his and his undeniable humor. So I'm like, oh, that could be the thing that helps him kind of break through like a bit more. And the girls might actually, because sometimes with their dilemmas and the things that go viral, they're just content. They're not like, they'll read it, am I an asshole? And it's not like a specific conversation about like bottle culture. Whereas I hear more of that on like 3 shots, and now I'm like, oh, that's maybe a conversation for us a bit more. So sometimes I hear their dilemmas or what they talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, that's just a relatable piece of content. There's no racial thing to it.
Yo, man, if you're white, you listen to us, let us know, man. No, genuinely, because you know what it is, yeah. Like, even I remember one day just going through Nav and whatever, and I think this is when I was still in school with my white mates and whatever, and like, you know, it's just we see the same place in different, like we see the same world in such 2 different views. Where you see an industrial estate, I see church. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you see the palace, I just see, bro, that's where the drunk people fall out of. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's just like that's why I'm kind of like, when it comes to like our content and we're talking about certain things and we're talking about like our certain life experiences and shit like that, and it's just like, do you relate? or do you find this interesting? And if you do, why? Kind of a situation. And it's kind of like, why do you find this interesting? Because if you find this interesting because you can relate, then there's probably hundreds of thousands of people that probably relate to the same thing. But if you find this interesting because this is a little niche thing that, I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with Black history and all that.
Yeah, it's a look into Black culture for you. You're like, this is how they operate over there.
Exactly. But then are you like a dime in a dozen?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I just don't know how. And then once again, the other thing is like in my regular day-to-day life, even though we do live in a predominantly white country, my life is very fucking black.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think outside of times I have to really interact, and it's not because I don't like white people, but like,
it's just not part of like, I've always said that the older I've got, the less white friends I've had.
Literally.
It's like you find you go back to, you revert more to where you're from, like
where you're comfortable, where you appreciate.
Yeah, black family, black friends, black podcast partner.
Because the times where I was like, let's even say when I was at work, I remember when I was at work, and this was when my first time there, I was even thinking, you know what, let me try and be cool, let me try and do, you're trying to be part of the, the work thing. You're watching The Office, see they're all cool. You're trying to. So I'm like, I'm cool with this boy. Me and him, we used to go gym and shit like that. And there was a couple times I kind of like, not that he said anything alarming or like racist or anything, like little microaggressions.
Yeah.
And sometimes, his energy was just, and I was like, I don't know if you like me. Like, I don't actually know if you like, and I don't like having those conversations. I don't like having to think, am I going crazy or was that kind of wild?
When you have to gaslight yourself.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's like, oof, am I gaslighting myself here?
And then now it's like, if I go crazy, you're going to tell me that it's just banter. But was it? And even if it was, so? And now, if I go crazy, like, I'm looking like the crazy.
But I'm saying, but like, just because it's banter for you, I don't have to tolerate it.
Yeah, but it's not about the fact that I have to tolerate it. It's because my reaction now is all gonna be he overreacted to that banter, even though it's not banter to me.
Yeah.
Because everybody else around me looks like it's banter.
They'll always look at the reaction, not the aggression.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like I'm at work now. I'm eating at my desk, just having some chicken at my desk. My manager asked me, is that jerk chicken? If I flip out, he just asked you a question. Why are you flipping out on this guy? Now I'm the one that gets in trouble. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like having to constantly second guess myself of like, yo, is this okay?
That's like, I was watching, I watch football, and every time England lose, they put like a black player in the thing. And if when Harry Kane missed a penalty, they said heartbroken Harry, and then make him look like, we lost, but look at him. But whenever there's a lose, Saka came on with 25 minutes to go, they lost 1-0. He didn't even start. They put him as a face. And then someone did a compilation of like every time they do this, and compared to when they win and Sterling would score, but Grealish should be the face. And then, so we've always seen this, and I'm always thinking like, you've seen it so much, like surely it's not a coincidence, because you've seen, even you guys have seen the backlash. You most have like, and then I guess as we went to journalism school, he says, don't think for a second this is coincidental. Don't think for a second the way they portray it. They portray it as like if it's heartbroken Harry, or if it's Sterling has a gun, he likes tattooed, that means he's encouraging gun violence, whatever. It's like, do not think they're doing this by accident, because it's kind of you like this. I'm like, am I gaslighting myself? Like, I was like, okay, maybe because they put Sterling because Sterling is the star player. Like, you start to gaslight it. Okay, Sterling is one of their best players, so they always blame the star players when teams lose, blah, blah, blah. But then they put Saka, and Saka came on with 20 minutes to go and they lost 1-0.
And they were already losing
before he came on. Like, I was like, come on,
and it's for reasons
man.
like that. That's why, as much as I might like the English players, I don't want to see them win. I want to see all the individuals, mainly the black individuals, do well. But apart from them with a trophy, fuck that. They're gonna be so you know what?
And look, praise Kane.
English fans are the Arsenal fans of country football.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I don't want to see them win.
And then it'll be because of Kane, and Kane will be the hero, even if it's like Saka that scored the winner, or like so. So I get you. It's like, well, the minute we say it, they're saying, "Oh, it's black people at it again. It's just a picture." Or they'll just gaslight you. Oh, it's just journalism. Or it's just they do it because Sterling is the best player. They always blame the best player. The only time that I've seen it happen to Oyinbo that they got to smoke like that was David Beckham. That one time. That's the only time I've seen it. Like, oh right, you guys actually went in for him.
Even with that, low key, I feel like it's because Beckham was so far left from what they wanted him to be.
Yeah.
Like, it was got his long hair, getting his like
First
married.
football celebrity.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And if we're people who were footballers, you went to football, you were a footballer. He was like the first footballer celebrity, and because you're going against the grain,
and he was leading more. And you know, back then as well, football like the niggas on the timeline say, bring back real men. Football back then were niggas like
real
do you know
men.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he's out here doing shit with the LGBTQ community,
Driving for a
What's
Spice
called-
Girl,
do you know
dating
what I'm
her.
saying? Bro, what's called
Yeah.
getting married in a fucking pink suit or purple suit, like.
Anything, yeah, that's true. Anything he would have done, it would have been like, yeah, see, we told you.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
see, we told you.
Like, there's a word that we're not going to use that they definitely use for that man. But and it just goes back to one of them situations where it's like, at a certain point in my life, it just, not that it felt uncomfortable being around some white people. It didn't feel uncomfortable. It just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations where when I was hanging out with people that were like me, I didn't have to feel conscious of like, what did he just say?
Yeah.
Or like,
What do you mean by that?
yeah, I didn't have to. If I have to say what you mean by that, is about just do something wild, not about. I don't actually know if you like me as a person, or if you like the fact that I'm black. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm black and around you. You can tell your friends you have black friends. And
Do you get what I mean? So it's just kind of like,
and it's also for them. We were like the first black people they were around. Also, like even for the parents would see their black friends and be like, "Wow, you have black friends." So their parents are even perpetrating, like putting stereotypes in their head. I talk about this. I remember listening to the last which had that they had a white woman on. I can't remember her name, Amanda or something, and she said that like her parents told her don't date foreigners, don't date travelers, like, or don't date Polish people. They'll beat you up, because Ireland was never like this. They're just seeing an influx of foreigners, and they're just judging you based on what they've seen on TV, passing that to their kids, and the kids are regurgitating that to you. Now you're second guessing yourself, and for the most part, they're like, "It's what my dad just said." The blacks,
maybe I am a gangster.
yeah. They said they will tell you the senior club, so you're a gangster, aren't you? So, what you mean?
To be fair, do we get that same shit in the reverse of like, don't bring home a white girl?
Yeah. No, because sometimes it's like you couldn't even bring home. Like, I know you're black people that said don't bring home Igbo. Parents were always like saying don't bring home. Like, we have a thing with Angolans, Congolese and Angolans, and it was like don't bring home.
You might have beef.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you think I know? Like the Igbo one, at least I know some of the history, but the Angolan one, I was just like, I don't even know.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, but it was like a thing like don't bring home an Angolan. I've heard Igbo people say don't bring home Yoruba. Yeah. So it happened also in our houses. Like, I remember Simi's mom was like apprehensive because of Congolese. But I was, I hear it. Because I hear it, because in our house they would have been apprehensive, me marrying a Nigerian.
It's
you just have to do it.
Like, I hear it, but it just kind of goes like, these are the things where I'm just thinking about it, like, you know, when it's one of those situations where it's like, oh yeah, the podcast might pop and blah blah, but you just start thinking it's just like, all right, cool. Like, how much influence do we have? If you can't conquer home, how do you conquer anywhere else?
Yeah.
And I know sometimes you might pop off, like the internet has made the world so small that you might pop off or whatever. But then if I'm being completely real, I then look at what the standard is and look at where we were, and it's like, I feel like personally we were falling below the standard in a lot of things, and to get to the level of that standard to even be able to compete at an international level is just kind of like a.
And we couldn't, and even if we wanted to, we couldn't have done it, the two of us. Like, we needed to, we needed a team. People that were better than us are doing the things that we're not good at. And then that's more overhead. You need to invest in that. Or, like, your YouTube blows, and what people do is they get all that YouTube money and invest into a team, and then when you're making, like, proper money. And because, to your point, Cittg says the bigger audience is in America.
Yeah.
They say they've sold out 50 shows in America because that's where the bigger audience is, because the internet has made it so small. But they've hired their friends now, like they've really built a team catered to them, and creatives need to do that. Like, I will say, just keep creating, but also acknowledge that if you are stagnant, put money away into building a team and give money to people that are better at doing the stuff that you're not, or you're just gonna overwork yourself. You're gonna hate it, and it's gonna become too much.
We say all this now, yeah.
We're back soon.
All I'm saying is, yo, if we get a certain amount of subscribers, like, one of these clips go viral, maybe we come in and our tone completely changes.
But that is also a part of it that we haven't seen the incremental growth in 2 years. Let's be real. We haven't had that moment of virality or that clip pops off or that day that you just go from like 600 to 10,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. Maybe having a moment like that would have been encouraging to be like, oh wow, we are popping off. When you're doing this 2 years and you're not even seeing the progress on the social media side and you're seeing how much you're putting into it, and you have to be honest with yourself also, so I say maybe I'm not just connecting to a wider audience the way I would have. And to Shikemi's point is like, maybe it is a slow burner, but how slow do you build continuously?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's encouraging when the girls went and suddenly they are nearly 20K subscribers, 20K followers, and this many subscribers. I'm sure that's like a moment of like, oh shit, we can work on this and we can build this. So that also is, let's not lie, like it's not seeing the growth in that aspect also did influence the decision.
Yeah, like to be honest, it's one of those situations where I do feel like sometimes, I know for myself, I'm a bit too realistic.
Yeah, same. We were having the conversation with Mick earlier.
We were having the conversation with Mick earlier, and it was just like sometimes you just gotta say yes, because I've seen people that don't have the skill set to do something, but they say yes, they do it. People see them do it, and then now all of a sudden they do have the skill set to do it. But it just comes off that delusion of like, yo, let's do this thing. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like when I'm like sitting back and thinking about the podcast, I do feel like we've gotten in our own way a lot of the time. Like when it comes to like, even remember when Fiona was like, stop saying that you don't take this thing seriously on camera, because it's like, how is anybody else going to take us seriously? But it's just, for us, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But then again, I think that's a character flaw on my part anyways. Like I'm too laid back about too many things, like, and things that I shouldn't be laid back about, or even things that like certain things I might want or whatever, and it's just like, oh, it'll happen when it happens. And it's kind of like time goes by, months go by, years go by, and it's just like you could have had this thing that you wanted if you had just put in the work, or just actually did what you needed to do at the time.
It's a thing that they say. It's like someone said, oh, I'm too old. I'm like, oh, I'm 30 now, I can't go back and do a degree. And then it'll take 4 years, and they say, yeah, but you'll still be 34 and with no degree. Like, so you might as well just do, like, either way, those 4 years are gonna pass. You will get to 34, but you want to get to 34 with no degree because you felt like you were too old. And at 34, you would have been like, oh, if I only started this 4 years ago, I had my degree now.
You'd be like, oh, if I started at 30, I would have done it. I've been done it. You know what it is? It's just things are just weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah, no, I hear you, but I think that's it. You guys are
anything to the game?
Charging into like right now, obviously transition, like everybody knows you and charging to the game, the amount of like planning and tackling, because Simi's going back to work soon, and childcare and trying to figure out like life to a real component. You got to charge it because nobody kind of prepares you to train for this, and everybody does it differently because everybody relies on different support systems and their parents and childcare. So I'm just gonna charge that because it is stressful, it is a lot, and it is like then you start deep into financial. You still want to live life and go on holidays and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna charge just being overwhelmed with the new life. But I always remember that like you asked for this, you wanted to have a family, so deal with this. What do you charge to the game?
Two things, yeah. First things first is I'm sick of cars. Like
this guy.
Hey,
if you go to like episode 15, it's called Brianna's Interlude.
This time it's not car trouble. Thank God we haven't had car trouble in over a year, and we'll continue to not have car trouble.
Actually, I had car trouble. I think my braking pads are fucked.
To be honest, it's been time for you to get rid of that car.
Oh, I'm getting the minute
this year, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get something, isn't it?
The minute Stevie goes back to work,
join us. Bambi just got one of our things as well.
I saw.
Join us.
I saw his story. I was happy.
Because I was in this house with my car or whatever, and then literally like a couple of days later, I just see a snap. And this guy's just going, I say, I swear. So you're saying, oh, this thing is coming. I love it though. But yeah, no. It's not even that. It's just, so I want to keep my car clean, yeah?
Yeah.
So spent peas, got it washed, put like a 6-month wax thing on it. I was like, yeah, that first day I was clean. Get home, come outside next day. Bird shit everywhere.
Summer is actually the worst time to wash cars.
Bro.
Because birds are out all the time.
Yeah, but the thing is, what am I looking like?
Yeah,
and also, you know what this is as well? Like, when bird shit on your car, if you leave it there, like, the acidity fucks with your paint.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I want to keep it, like, clean and shit like that. Then you're driving on the motorway, bugs all over the front. I'm just like, so literally, I spent, like, I spent like 30 or 40 euro to wash my car. Why is it 2 days later it's fucking dirty again?
I buy petrol for 2 cars now, so.
Then the other thing that I'm trying to say the game is, you know when you have to go back to basics? Fuck that shit, man.
Talk to me. What do you mean?
So long. So back on this fitness thing, banging gym, trying to hit 20k steps a day, bruv. You know when you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like, okay, you know what it is, yeah. Let's say you're at a certain weight. Okay, let's say you're skinny at a point, yeah.
Yeah.
You went back to basics, started hitting gym all the time, make sure you're eating right, you gain muscle, you do all of that, yeah. And then you're at a point where you're not, maybe you've hit the goal you wanted to achieve, yeah. And then you start swaying. And you start, man, I don't need to hit gym 5 times a week anymore. You start going 3. Then you're just like, I don't need to be on such a strict diet. You start going out, you start eating takeout, you start doing all of this. And now, each day goes by, and you don't realize every day that goes by, you're ticking 1 degree away from where you are. Now it's 6 months later, a year later,
you're back to
and you might not be at step 1, but you're close to that bitch.
So when did you go back to basics?
I've been thinking about it for a while, but like maybe over the past like week or 2, like I've stripped it back.
Okay.
Like what's called deleted Instagram, deleted Twitter. What's called just kind of like trying to wake up early, walk to the gym.
Are you letting the sun wake you up as well? Should I run?
Honestly, while I'm unemployed, funny enough, I've actually been waking up pretty early. Like this one, I was up at like 4 o'clock for no fucking reason. Like I woke up at like 4. Most days
you should come and take feeds during that time.
No, the plan was to start waking up at 6, but I've been waking up around like 6:30, 7. So, but like it's still early enough. Like by 11 o'clock, actually by like 10 o'clock more time, I've had my workout done. I've hit all my goals. Like apart from the 20k steps, bro. 20k steps is tough, bro.
Yeah, I don't do the steps thing. I just work out. That's because I don't really have a goal. Like people have like gym weight loss or gain muscle, blah blah blah. I just have maintenance.
Yeah, but when you're in the maintenance, it's very like, because if you have a bad week, 1 week where you eat a load of shit,
that's true.
and then the next week you don't eat that much shit, and you bang gym,
you
level it out.
No, because that's actually me.
But when you want to go the other way, you have to go the other way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know I hate doing cardio, and I know I'm not running, so it's kind of like.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Why is everybody joining running clubs?
Bro.
Why is everybody running?
Bro, you know what?
What's going on?
It feels like pandemic again. Remember when everyone was doing 5Ks during the pandemic? So they could post the snap and say,
I just look at it and I'm like, wow. I saw someone on Instagram, they're on a night out. Next morning, running. I was like, I replied to the source like, you're about this. You are about this life. Because I'm not about this at all. Like not just I do my cardio on the fucking treadmill, yeah, and that's
boring,
it.
Man.
I see people actually running. People are joining running clubs, and only black people turn running clubs into Hinge. People are meeting at running clubs and dating.
To be fair, you know what it is, yeah. That's what life is. You do things and you meet people in the places where you do things. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why people at work be fucking, because we're here together most of the time anyways. You look cute, I look cute, you make me Google, I make you giggle. Let's fuck.
I hear it.
It really is that. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, back to basics, just kind of like, you know, let me just strip it all back, start working from the beginning again. And it's been cool. For the most part, it's actually been cool. I've been enjoying it. You get up, go to the gym. You forget how much you miss lifting heavy weights.
Yeah.
Until you start lifting heavy weights again.
Especially when you see the progress and you're like,
but then 2 days later when you're in bed, like,
God. That's why I was like, if I go to gym 3 days in a row, that 4th day I have to take it off.
Yeah.
Like, or I have to train myself maybe not to do weights the 4th day. Just go on the treadmill, let's put on a podcast. Like do something. Because like to your point, I'm like that. Some weeks I might be there twice. Some weeks I might be there 4 times. I don't really have like a purpose, but because for me it's dependent on if I'm going on site.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm not on site this week because obviously I'm at home, so I'm probably see me as a gym membership. I might go tomorrow.
Yeah, but to be honest, but like on the other side of that as well, like you take things for walks.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's true. like I think the biggest downfall for a lot of people is the transition from walking everywhere and taking buses and shit to a car. Like once, like okay, like let's say the shop that's near my house is like a 20-minute walk, but it's like a minute drive.
Yep.
So the minute I've got in my car, I'm not walking.
And then before
anywhere.
that, you would like get up, go get your chicken for a roll, walk back, and you'd be like, oh, that was like that was
Or
grand.
like what's called back when you have to be in the office 5 days a week. You go to the bus, walk from the bus stop to the Lewis, walk from the Lewis to this, walk from here to here, walk from here. Like I was hitting 10K steps without even thinking before.
Yeah.
Now, on a regular day, if I'm working from home, I'll be lucky if I get 2K.
That's why people get those little treadmills in their houses.
I'm
and
thinking about getting one.
Yeah, because they just... I've seen... I think I was talking... shout out Simba. He was playing FIFA while he was on his treadmill walking.
But
so,
I think the thing that's most important for people and why people are probably joining the running clubs and everything is because going gym by yourself is boring.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot. Until you actually start enjoying the gym, it's a chore. But whereas it's like, if everybody's going running, it's just a chance to meet up with your boys and shit like that.
People love community. And whatever community you find, and we've talked about this, it's like now society has lent itself more to people actually having communities for different things because of the internet and because of like things like, oh, if there's a running club half an hour away from your town, before you wouldn't know that. But now you have access to these things and people, and it's not so fitness became cool over the last 10 years maybe. Like when Gymshark started, more people started going gym. Like fitness just became like a cool thing like it wasn't before. So if we were in secondary school, someone said they joined a running club, you'd be like, what a nerd. But now it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's kind of what people do. They look out for themselves.
But I just decided to start walking to the gym because it's like, I hate being, when I'm on the gym, after I've done my workout and everything, I'm not trying to hit the treadmill for however long. So it's like, you know what? And then I just started walking the long way to the gym. So it takes me like almost an hour to walk to the gym, almost an hour back.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, that's my warm up.
Yeah.
I'll do a bit of cardio in the gym, but after that, I have to walk home.
Yeah.
So that's another hour. So it's kind of like, and plus, if I want to hit these 20K steps, without that, because that walk is about give or take 12K steps. So it's kind of like, without that, I'm not hitting what I need to hit. But that's just pretty much it.
So that's on the physical side. On the mental side, has deleting socials done anything for you mentally?
Not really. Has it? You know what it is? It's just I have less time to look at other shit. Like, you know when you're just sitting there scrolling for hours and like even now I still find myself, I'll grab my phone and the first thing I'm doing is like just naturally you just open whatever.
Yeah.
You know you have a
you know where your apps are.
You open Instagram, close Instagram, go Twitter, close Twitter, TikTok, close that, and you just start recycling it. And it's just kind of like what I found happening is because I was out of work again and like I didn't have a lot to do. Not that I didn't have a lot to, like I still have shit to do here and there, but it's kind of like, you know, it's nowadays you can apply for jobs from your bed kind of situation. So it's kind of like I'm just kind of finding myself just not really doing anything through the day. I feel like days are wasting by, and then you're like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do this. But then when you take it back to basics and it's like I have nothing else to focus on. So it's kind of like now it's gone to the point where I don't think about going to the gym. I just wake up, all right, cool, bang, on my way to the gym. Before I can think about it, I'm gone. Do you get what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like I'm not checking my Instagram for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then now I'm like, yeah, I'll go at 10:30. It's 11. I'll go at 11. It's 12. I'll go at 12, and then by the time I know it's like 8 o'clock, I'm not going anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those situations where it's just kind of like, yo,
back to basics. Stripping it back to basics.
Let's restart. Get everything back.
I like that.
Get everything back on point.
I like that.
Go again.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's long though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
of course.
Fam, I'm shattered. Yeah. That's like I went for, and it's been hot as well recently. So I went for a walk and it's like I really do enjoy walking. Like I actually do enjoy walking. It's fun and shit.
Do you do like earphones, pod, or I'm
trying to listen to more music again because I stopped listening to music for a long time.
Yeah, same. I don't really don't listen to music as much as I should.
And you know what? I didn't realize how little music I've been listening to until I get in my car. And my playlists are old and I've got nothing to play. And now I'm listening to fucking Family Matters.
That slaps.
It slaps, but after a while it's like bro,
Raheem talking shit again. Guys, because you hear my baby mom do the mouth tools I hitting then. The Drake did so well in that song.
But yeah, so it's just been like trying to listen to more music again, trying to just, you know what it is, yeah. And after that conversation of like, I think probably on the last episode, like, or even that conversation that we had with, what's her name? Just being like, what do you actually want?
Yeah.
And it's one of those situations where it's like, I've now got a bunch of free time and I don't have the commitment of a podcast. I'm not selling my time to the white man. It's like, what do you actually want to do?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be here again next year or 2 years from now being like, oh, what do I want to do kind of situation.
You want to be 2 years into your goal.
Yeah, and it's just
whatever you want to do. Like I want to be 2 years into it, not rather just thinking what do I want to do.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? And there's like I've done a bunch of random shit. At this point, it's like, all right, cool. Like let's let's really buckle down. What the fuck are we doing? So it's just been, it hasn't been because like this war was me or anything. It's just been like, fuck it, you got free time now. Why the fuck not? Like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. Like
That's cool to actually hear, because obviously it's been a month that we are not having, we've had conversations obviously, but not like, this is why they say we're not good friends, because they'll say we had this once a month or something. You need to have in-depth conversations every day. Free me, man.
oh fuck that, man.
For most of the time we're talking about music and bitching about shit. Fuck these niggas.
Yo, if you had to, if everybody's group chats got leaked, yeah. Do you think we'd fly under the radar, or do you think it'd be like, oh, yo, what the fuck's going on in that group chat?
They would call us. We don't say, there's nothing mad. They just call us haters.
Oh, fuck.
That's it.
Hey. Some of them niggas are haters.
No, I think that would be it. I think like, 'cause nobody really says anything. No, not really. They'll just say, "Wow, you guys really hate." Like you guys are really haters. Like you guys are about this hater thing. I think that's it, really. Other than that,
Oh, actually,
that's it.
Last thing before we wrap up, yeah. I was having an argument with one of my boys, yeah. And so you were saying, right? Because let me reference this. Let me put this into frame. There's a couple people in this life that I've met, yeah, that they are literally the epitome of your network gets you places. Do you get what I'm saying? So for him, I
know a couple.
I don't even know if this man has ever had a CV in his life, but he somehow is always getting paid. And it's just like, all right, cool.
He's the definition of who you know. It's better than what you know.
He's the definition of who you know, kind of a situation. So he does a lot of his own dealings, all that kind of shit, right? So we're having a conversation, yeah, and it's like, the question was, if someone was to offer you 60K today, right? And you got to stretch that 60K over the next 3 years, but you have to quit your job today. And you can't work for those 3 years. You also can't touch any of your savings you had before the 3 years or whatever. So if you break it down, it's tax-free as well.
20K
so 20K a year.
Divided by 12.
Give or take about, it's about 1.8 a month.
Always say, yeah.
But you don't have to work. You're not allowed to work. You quit your job, you're not allowed to work. Yeah. Would you take that deal?
No, because I know 1.8. I can't live on 1.8 right now.
That's what I was saying to him.
Like
remove. Like I can't say remove your family because
yeah. No, because even like if I was living in I must have no like bills and mortgages.
Those included.
No, then I can't.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
1,800 I can't.
That's what I was saying to him. Like I was like, I can't. Like the thing is, it's not even about like, because he was like, the thing about it is like, you have freedom.
Can't.
You have freedom to do whatever you want, kind of a situation. Yeah. But I was just kind of saying to him like, bro,
I'm stressed about money all the time.
Freedom of what?
Yeah.
The boys want to go out one time. My whole black bank is blown.
Because by the time I pay for the house, pay for my monthly car, pay for insurance.
Bro, that's
what you want me to do? And then there's petrol that I need to keep fueling up. What you want me to? No, I can't. There's no 1,000 I can.
God forbid the boys say, let's go on holiday. What are we doing?
Like, I would literally be living to live, like to just survive, just paying for the essentials. And that's not living.
You know what? If we're talking, the one is, yeah, I mean, if I'm even saying if we strip back life to the bare minimum, I don't even know if I can still live on that. Do you get what
like, I have to be no bills. Like, or at least take away my mortgage. And maybe then I can make it work.
Yeah, but whether you can make it work, I can make it work.
Yeah.
However, the quality of life that I'll be living on that isn't going to make sense. Because like, the thing is, if I was 21, flash out. Actually, I was making more than that at 21, actually. But if I was 21...
And I was balling out. When I was making that money, I was a baller.
But like, at this age of my life, I make more than that. Yeah. Like I would rather sell.
And there's still some months that you have to make a stretch. Like you make more than that, and there's still some months you're like, this month has to stretch.
And God forbid you want to propose to your babes in that year.
I was gonna say people are having destinations wedding. They say, "Oh, we're going to Niger for my wedding." Your best friend Moyo now say, "Let's go Niger."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Or you need to buy suits. You need to pay for this. You need to pay for that.
Bro, flights alone will cover the whole. Like,
flights alone nearly $1,000. That's it.
How much money would they have to offer you today?
On a monthly, after tax?
No. How much money, one-time payment, do they have to offer you today to leave your whole industry and never work in it again?
The whole industry?
Yeah.
Oh, I think if you gave me, whatever is remaining on my mortgage, if I have somewhere to go at the end of the day, and if I don't have to leave and there's no pressure,
You can go figure something else out. I'm just saying you can't work in science again.
yeah, that's what I mean. Because I'll have to require. Oh, yeah, give me 400k.
400K.
Yeah. How much you need? Because even if I get a retail job, right, let's say, because like let's say I get a retail job, but I know my house is paid for, so that means I'm getting that, let's say 2,500. It's just there's no house to pay for. That's just on me. So you're basically taking away, let's say, half of that should have gone probably gone on the mortgage, but it's not anymore. So you have half of that. Yeah, I can make that work.
Yeah, okay.
Like, because as long as I have, like, you have a home to go to every day, even if you get a job as like in a shop somewhere, the money you get coming home is just strictly for maybe a bit of bills, and the rest you can do whatever.
But to be honest, you can make that shit work. Like, what's called in terms of like, I know niggas with science degrees that are working in banks. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And then once you have the degree and the people's their skills, and you can always upskill, do a project management course for a year, and you can figure like, yeah. I think how much would you need
To leave finance. I'd never do finance again. I have to start from the bare minimum. Yeah, probably half M.
Yeah, half even if you, yeah,
Because you know what it is? It's just because you're taking away my most valuable asset.
yeah.
Like, my degree is my most valuable asset. And it's like, question, yeah.
Because you asked that question, innit? If you took away your degree, what skills do you what other skill do you have to offer to make money from? Which is a good question. And I said it was being trilingual, because I have had approach. I think someone had a case. They're coming into the country,
Bruv, man.
speaking Lingala and French, and
I told you,
the translator.
these things are making bad,
Yeah.
bro. That should be a look. You know, now that you're not podding, just start translating. Bro,
that should be.
genuinely, there's
Yeah,
peas there.
there is peace, because people come and they need someone to like they have lawyers and they need a translator, someone that's gonna help them get into the country. So I think that's my other valuable skill. Sorry, what was your question?
That was actually
Yeah, what would you do?
Um,
Like, you can't use your degree. What's other valuable?
sales. I'd probably go sales. Like, I could sell some shit. Like,
You think you can charm them, yeah? Charm old ladies.
hey, yo, I've done it. But you know what? When I was working as a street fundraiser on Concern, I was essentially selling charity. Like,
Oh yes,
like,
yes.
So it's like, if I had to, I could sell some shit. Like,
I can talk on the mic and make money from it. This is why I'm quitting.
how about start now? Honestly, at this point, I think we're just trying shit.
Yeah. Anyways, who knows? This might be a two-parter, depending how long it is. If you made it to the end of the pod,
Make that shit stretch.
if you made it to the end of the pod and you didn't like anything we said, well, you can charge. Yeah.
Bro.
Thank you for listening.